All right. Welcome everybody back to another edition of the low carb football party. I am getting crazy already here. I am Brian. I got Greg.
Where's
That's
the
the best. That's the best blooper right off the bat, right? First 3 seconds of the video.
That's awesome.
So I'm Brian, and we got Greg over here. Welcome, Greg.
How's it going, Brian?
Woo. We got 5 people on already too, so
Hey,
they're
that's
probably
awesome.
like, "What is going on over there?" But welcome and let us know where you're from. Say hi. And today's topic is going to be ingredients check 101. So we're going to talk about looking at some ingredients lists, the ingredients on different foods and so forth, and how to go with that. Eric is here already. Hello, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Yes, we're on time. Giving you guys bloopers, but we are on time. All right. So our game tonight is the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. So let's start really quickly with that. Most of you know I am a Lions fan, and boy, I can't talk. I'm a Lions fan, and so hoping for a good one here. That the Lions and the Packers right now are tied for first place in the division. So I don't know. This is at Green Bay. They've been surprising me and playing pretty well so far.
Me too. I'm actually really surprised at how well they're doing because at the beginning of the season, I thought they'd be in the bottom with the Bears, but so far the Vikings are down there with the Bears. So
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping the Lions can pull it out, but I don't know. What do you think, Greg?
I'm cheering for the Lions. I think the Lions will win, but you just never know. The game is in Green Bay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be interesting. I'm rooting for the Lions. I think they can pull it out. We'll see what happens, but it should be a good game though. I no doubts on that one. Probably one of the better matchups so far this year.
Yeah. All right. So Mrs. Perfectly Imperfect Keto is here. So hello to her. And Susan is here. You guys popping in for a minute. So hello, Susan. Eric says, yeah, Lions are tough.
Yeah.
As a Lions fan, I've longed to hear that for like ever. So we'll see.
Yeah, I can understand your pain. I definitely had seen that through the years for the Lions, especially when there's a long drought of making the playoffs even. And I remember back in the day when Barry Sanders was there and they made the playoffs, and they had a pretty good football team then. But since then, it's been pretty rough. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you're pretty excited about what's going on.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. It looks like the teams are getting ready to come out. Carnivore Backwoods, hello. He's cooking dinner. He's going to be one of our guests tonight, so he's going to be on for a while. So let's go into our topic really quick. And so again, it's ingredients check 101. So I want to talk a little bit about how important it is to look at your ingredients list. And I'm going to get us started because I didn't want to put you on the spot. So I'm going to get us started, and I'm going to share something here really quick. So as you can see, this is Duncan Hines chocolate chip cookie mix. It says keto friendly, 2 grams of net carbs. Okay, so give me a second here. I'm gonna flip over to the ingredients list. All right, here's your ingredients list: almond flour, L-ulose. I looked that up. That is an
Yep.
artificial sweetener, so it's basically sugar. Erythritol, if I said that right,
Erythritol.
that's another
Yep.
artificial sweetener. Inulin, unsweetened chocolate. Thank God the chocolate is unsweetened because we already have 2 artificial sweeteners in there, right? Coconut flour, rice bran extract, basically, I looked that up, and a lot of the notes on it is that it helps to reduce cholesterol.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's a unsaturated fat, by the way.
Interesting.
Resistant dextrin. I don't know what makes it resistant, but contains less than 2% of cocoa butter, salt, natural flavor. Natural flavor, that's another keyword for artificial sweeteners. Soy lectinin, that's not good. I don't know what stevioglycosides is. I didn't look that one up. Sodium bicarbonate, whole milk powder, xanthan gum, stevia. There's another one of those artificial sweeteners.
Yeah.
And vanilla extract. So there's like what, 4 or 5 different artificial sweeteners in this.
It
And it's
looks like
keto friendly.
looks like a whole bunch of crap in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a keto friendly product, and that's why you got to look at the ingredients. Don't just look at it says keto friendly and 2 grams net carbs, right? Got to look at that ingredients list. So that's what I wanted to share here really quick. I do, let's see, we do have some guests coming in. So let me bring in really quick John. Hey, John.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Hey, John, how you doing?
All right. So this is
doing
John
great.
Wood.
Good to see you, Greg, Brian.
Good to see you.
So, John, you have the Champion Within YouTube channel.
Right.
Why don't you tell our guests a little bit about your channel real quick, and then we're going to go into some more topics and so forth here.
Well, I started my channel about a week ago, about maybe 8 days ago. And my focus on my channel, not only about the carnivore diet, but kind of how it applies to people who are in my demographic and older. I'm 56. I'll be 57 next March. And so my next milestone birthday is going to be 60 years old. And so I tend to talk about topics maybe that lend themselves towards people who are, quote unquote, senior citizens or heading that direction. And just the benefits of the diet plus a different lifestyle so that we can age not gracefully, but with vigor and vitality. So I kind of focus on that. I keep my videos, I try to keep them, 20 minutes or shorter. I know a lot of carnivore content, which I watch all of it, both of you guys especially. But when somebody has an hour and 50 minute or 2 hour and 10-minute video, I'm pretty busy. I have all this energy since I started the carnivore diet. I just can't sit there for 2 hours and watch a video. So I try to keep mine short and pithy, if you will, so that people can get on, watch, get some good content, and then get on with their day.
All right. Excellent.
Yep, definitely.
So I'm going to change things up a little bit, and I'm going to bring in our next guest because we have a second guest already in here waiting. So let me bring him in. All right. This is Larry from Carnivore Soldier. How you doing, Larry?
Good. How you doing, guys? Good to see you, man.
How's it going, Larry?
Hey, Larry.
All right. I know it's a football game day, but I don't watch football. So I got my Red Wings jersey on because we're playing the Caps right now. And I know
yeah.
we're up 1-0, so I'm pretty happy.
Great.
I'm a huge hockey fan too. I like the Minnesota Wild though, but yeah, I love hockey. It's a good sport.
Yeah, I used to go see the Minnesota North Stars farm team out in Massachusetts called the Agawam Indians. That was their farm team.
Okay.
And I used to go watch them. But now they're the Dallas Stars, and of course, Minnesota. So it all changed. But back then in the 80s, I was just listening to John here. I'm 57 too, right? So I'm the same age group as you, brother. So I'm on point with you. I'll tell you about my channel real quick. I'm a retired chief warrant officer from the Army. I retired in 2019. I have worked in law enforcement too, so I gear my channel towards military and first responders. And I have a special series called Mission Carnivore, where we talk about how I interview military and first responders that are on carnivore and how it's affected their life, and kind of from that point of view. But I also have some other things like typical carnivore, how to get started from a military point of view, though. So my take's a little different than a lot of people. Some people like it, some don't. That's why we have so many channels, right? And then I also do carnivore movie reviews. And those are usually between 10 and 15 minutes long. But I basically review movies that are they're nutritional movies, diet movies, like Fat, a documentary, and That Sugar Film. And I review them from a point of view of a carnivore. Like if you had a family member and you wanted to recommend a movie to them, you could look at my reviews and figure out what movie might be best to talk to them about, and what things, what points you could make. So that's kind of how I do that. That's about it.
All right. Well, thank you, Larry. Just a couple of quick comments I want to put up here really quick. We've got RB Good Fat says, "What's going on, cave people?"
How's it going?
And then we've got Less Junk, More Health says, "Hi guys from Florida."
Nice.
All right. So welcome to both of you. All right. So our topic today is ingredients check 101. So importance of checking the ingredients list on food items. So John, let me go to you, not to put you on the spot, but can you just give us a little bit of insight on what you do when you shop in terms of looking at ingredients? So I know you're carnivore, right? So you're probably mostly just eating meat, but maybe there's some bacon or something, and you might be looking at the ingredients. So what's kind of your process for going through those types of things?
Well, when I first started the diet, I was, kind of sloppy. I didn't have it dialed in. As a matter of fact, my very first week that I started this, I just ate pork. My wife and I had found a great deal at a local grocery store on some Boston butts. So we brought them home and cooked them all up in the crock pot, and I just shredded them up and put them in some freezer bags, and I ate that for the first week. And then I started doing more research, watching, Dr. Berry, and looking at the B&E type situation. And so I really have kind of honed it in. I eat mostly ribeyes and chuck steak. Ribeyes are pretty expensive. That's, budget is concerned for me, as it is for a lot of people. But if I can find ribeyes on sale, I tend to go to that. And then I go to these chuck steaks or chuck eye steaks, which have about the same marbling as a ribeye for less than half the price. And I eat a lot of ground beef. Now, for eggs, I try to, when the budget allows, get the pasture-raised eggs. I actually have a friend of mine at work that has his own chickens that just kind of run around in the yard, and they're pretty much pasture-raised, and he brings me some eggs when he has extra. But so I do that. Recently, I've started really paying attention to the bacon, because I do eat bacon on the weekends, and I'm looking at how it's cured. If it has sugar in the ingredients during the curing, I tend to, move past that, try to find something a little cleaner. But so far, even doing somewhat, dirty carnivore, and I'm trying to clean it up as I go, I've had tremendous results. But I know I can, like most people, I can do a little bit better. So that's just the big thing. When I get the bacon, looking at, and I wouldn't mind buying like pork belly and slicing it myself to where it's completely uncured. That's the next step. Probably just to buy some pork belly and make my own bacon so that there's no artificial ingredients in there from the curing process.
It's kind of a process, isn't it, to doing all that? I know that it takes a little research and understanding, but I think we're all getting better at meat cutting.
Yeah, exactly.
Look for the deals, and
I bought a knife sharpener recently, and I've really got my knife really sharp, so that that makes all the difference in the world. You can cut your fingers off with a dull knife trying to cut steak. So it's important to have a really sharp knife. So I invested in a good knife sharpener recently, and it makes slicing up meat so much easier and so much safer, actually.
John, I know you've had some pretty good success. How much weight have you lost since you started this plan, or when did you start, and where are you at?
Well, I started on July 1st. Like a lot of people, I was kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I ran across I'm really big into homesteading. My wife and I have an interest in homesteading. Although we live in the suburbs, we do want to buy some property and do some homesteading. And one day, one of Carrie's videos, when Homestead How showed up, it was talking about carnivore, and my wife wasn't interested in that, so she went on to bed, and I stayed up and watched it and did a deep dive. That was probably the 20th or 21st of June, and I said, July 1st, I'm going to give it a try. So I started the diet on July 1st, and I'm still going strong today. Today is actually day number 90 for me, and I'm down 50 pounds.
Nice.
So feeling really good. Yeah, the weight loss
That's
is fun, and it's exciting to talk about. But that is like I was on Dave Mack's show recently, and I was telling Dave that the weight loss is the least sexy thing I can talk about because the health benefits far exceed the weight loss. Not to diminish the weight loss, but the other, losing the arthritis and being able to walk and being mobile, and my blood pressure has gone from about 200 over 100 to 140 over 78 with no medication. No more arthritis. I can run up and down the stairs where I used to have to hold on to the rail just to go up and down stairs inside my own house. So the weight loss is great, but it's really secondary to the other health benefits that I'm experiencing. What about you, Larry? What kind of results are you having?
So I started March 22nd, and I was 280 pounds. I'm 6'3". So I was athletic when I was in the military. I retired in 2019 and went sliding down that, gaining weight and getting really lethargic. And I guess I was about 280 pounds when I started in March 22nd. And I was just I was looking up how to put some things on my Jeep. I bought a Jeep and I was putting some mods to it, right? So I was on YouTube looking that up, and I saw Dante Pregno's 128 days of lion diet. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I watched it, and I saw the picture before and after. And then I watched that whole thing, and I thought, well, that guy's no nutritionist, and he's just some blue-collar dude. So that looks like it worked. But I said, no way. And then I saw it was old, and I said, no way he's still doing it. So I looked at a new video, and he looked better. And I was like, except for he lost his hair, but he shaved. That's all right. But I was like, wow, this is amazing. So then I did the deep dive, and I saw Dr. Berry and Dr. Baker and all these guys. I was like, okay, this is looking legit. So what I did was, being a military guy, I like to just make a decision and go a direction. I don't like to second guess stuff. So I like to say that just like Cortez did, I burned my ships. When Cortez came to the New World with 600 soldiers, he burned his ships and he defeated a nation with 600 soldiers. I was like, you know what? That's what I'm doing. I'm burning my ships. So I emptied my empty my pantry, empty my fridge. I left a little stuff for my son because I was going to force him. He's 14. So I left some stuff for him. But I basically said, this is it. And my thinking was either this is going to work or it's not. But if it doesn't work, it's not because I didn't do it right. It's because it's a scam. That's what I was thinking, right? So I'm going to prove that one way or the other, this is going to happen. So my results are now I'm 234 pounds, 57 years old. I'm athletic again. I mean, listen, I got a video of me doing wind sprints and push-ups. I couldn't run when I started this because I had an ankle and leg injury from the military. The arthritis has gone away so much and the swelling, it's healed. I mean, I can actually run now. So I got pictures of a 57-year-old guy running wind sprints up a hill. I got video. I put a video up for motivation for people, and people loved it, by the way. And I'm like, I did 5 sprints and 50 push-ups at 57 years old. And I know I can run down most 57-year-olds. I guarantee you that. So I feel great. And again, it's not the weight loss. It's all that other stuff. It's me being able to listen. When I ran, I felt like an athlete again. I never thought I would do that the rest of my life, ever. I never thought I'd feel athletic again, but I do. So it's pretty amazing.
That's awesome, Larry. Good job.
That is. All right. I'm going to catch us up on some comments really quick. Larry, this one's for you. RB Good Fat says, Larry, your fat fiction movie review was on point. Been watching and it's great.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. That's a great movie. And actually, there's another one called The Magic Pill. It's an older movie, but I'm reviewing it next. And if you like fat fiction, check out The Magic Pill. It's really good. Really awesome stuff. And you can wait for the review to come out. And the thing is, when I review a movie, I always, in the description below it, I have links to watch it for free. It's on YouTube and or Tubi. So you can watch it on one or both. So when you watch my review, you can just click the description and watch the movie for free. All of them are free. So, and they're really good. Makes it easy to share.
All right. Quick update. The Lions already threw an interception, so Green Bay has the ball.
That's why I'm a Red Wings fan. I tried to be a Lions fan, man. I had season tickets.
Man.
I mean, come on.
Are they like
for us?
Are the Lions like the only team that has never won a Super Bowl? Never been in the Super Bowl? It seems like it, at least. I don't know if anybody else hasn't.
Only one, but they haven't for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad.
There's
All
a few
right.
that haven't made it. I know. I seen the list once. I think there's maybe 6 or
Is there a
7
couple?
teams. I mean, it was
Oh, wow.
surprising.
Okay. Well, I don't feel quite as bad, but I don't know. This is not a good start to this
Well,
game.
it's hard for me to be a football fan. I live in Charlotte, so the Carolina Panthers are our home team, and
Yeah.
the last 4 or 5 years has been really, really rough. We've been to the Super Bowl twice, lost both times, but man, we can't even get to the playoffs. We can't seem to get out of our own way, and they've made changes in personnel, changes in players, and we just seem to go backwards. So I'm not saying I'm giving up hope, but it's been rough. It's been rough the last few years.
Yeah. Well, all I'll say is at least you've been to the Super Bowl. All right.
Yeah.
Carnivore Backwoods says hello, everyone. So hello, John.
Hey,
He's going to
Carnivore
be on
Backwoods.
a little bit later. Let's see. RB Good Fat is asking John what percentage fat for the ground beef that you get. What's the fat percentage?
73-27. A lot of times you can find, those big rolls they have, and they tend to be a little less expensive per pound. Actually, on my video today, on today's video, I talk about I went to the store. There's a Harris Teeter grocery store right across the street from where I live, and normally it's $13.99. I think it's a 2-pound package or a 3-pound thing, and they had it marked down to $12.99. But they had a $5 off coupon on 2 of them, so I grabbed those 2 and bought them and brought them home, stuck them in the freezer. But I tend to go with 80-20 is like the top of the max, but I try to lean towards the 73-27. I want that fat because it keeps me fuller longer, and I think it's actually healthy.
I add butter to mine just to make sure. So I always add a tablespoon of butter on top of my burger when I eat it. And I actually just posted on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook group a way to do BBBE with today's prices. I basically went out and priced enough for a month, and I did it for $175. You can do BBBE at Walmart only, just at Walmart. And you get those big long tubes, the 10-pound tubes. You buy 3 of them and break them into 1-pound bags in Ziploc and roll them flat and throw them in the freezer, and then just eat those and eggs and bacon and butter. That's basically it. You can do this cheap. You don't have to buy ribeyes. I love ribeyes, but I eat mostly burger. To tell you the truth, I eat ribeyes a couple times a week, and I eat burger daily, and I eat eggs every now and then too. So even though I'm lying, I'm modified lying. So I eat hard-boiled egg every now and then.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Stream Elements says Stream Elements bot running. I'm not sure that I understand that one, but okay. Peachy Pam in Maryland says hello all. Hello, Pam.
Hello.
Going back to our topic of ingredients, checking the ingredients, Carnivore Backwoods says if it's got more than 3 ingredients, it's more than likely got crap in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you say. Let me chime in on that. I heard you talk about keto. So keto is why the reason I fell off keto, because I'd done it several times and fell off every time. Had great results and then fell off because they have processed food called keto friendly that you think, oh, it's keto. So you're eating bars and it's got seed oils and all kinds of junk in it. Well, we're starting to get that in the carnivore community too, and that's the bad thing. So I want to show you something from Texas. This is hardcore carnivore Tex-Mex seasoning. And hardcore carnivore actually has sausages. They have a lot of things. None of it is carnivore. You look at the ingredients on this, I guarantee you it's got seed oil, it's got all kinds of stuff in it that you don't want, and sugars. You don't want this. And I bought it just to make an example, but and to look at it. And but and this is one of their best ones. Their other ones are worse than this, but you don't want any of the hardcore carnivore stuff just because it says carnivore. And my neighbor bought it. That's why he bought the sausages. And I looked at him and it had brown sugar in it. I'm like, dude, this is. I mean, I eat sausages too, and they're going to have some dextrose in there. They're going to have some preservative. And I'm not a Nazi on that stuff, but if you can limit yourself to salt and then every now and then eat sausages, I think you're pretty good. You don't have to be like a purist, right? I've had my results with no grass-fed beef. I have grass-fed butter just because it's cheap and it's easy to get, but I've had no grass-fed beef. I've had pork. I've had bacon. I've had the cured bacon. I haven't done anything clean, super, super clean, and had great results. So I think, some people will have more reactions to that though, and they they need to eat cleaner. I know there's some people that can't handle the linoleic acid and omega-6s because they have other reactions. But for me, I didn't have to. I think most people probably don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And let me just share this really quick. This is what I was talking about. This Duncan Hines chocolate chip cookie mix. Boy, I cannot talk tonight. Keto friendly, right on it. Keto friendly. And I think we had like 4 or 5 different artificial sweeteners that we listed out in the ingredients list on it. It's pretty crazy. All right. Susan
So my wife
says
and I were at the grocery store. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, my wife and I were at the grocery store back when I really first started this, and they have those little the little packages of muffin mix. You just add water or whatever and an egg, and you make muffins. Well, next to the regular ones, they had the keto ones. The regular ones were 99 cents. The keto ones were $7.99 for the same size package, and they were no more keto than a Man in the Moon. And they were it makes it $8 for a little package. So not only is it crap on the ingredients, I mean they're jacking the prices up so high, and you think you're doing good, and you might as well pay 99 cents and get the crap ones because that's pretty much what it is.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Susan said
I was just going to give a quick game update. It's 3-zip Packers over the Lions.
Cool.
Yeah. So they held them to a field goal at least. Okay. So Susan says the Magic Pill documentary movie used to be on Netflix. She watched it in 2018 and it convinced her to start doing clean, strict keto. So that's good.
Yep. It is good. They show, this is something, if you have anyone in your family that's autistic, they actually show a little girl, probably 5 or 6, but she's very, she's very autistic and very hard to manage with the parents. And they force her into a keto diet. And the change on the camera, it's not an actor. I mean, you can tell, and the change is so amazing that if you have an autistic kid, watch this movie, or if someone in the family, even an adult, watch this movie and it'll convince you. And beyond that, Dr. Chafee said he's talked to adults that were autistic that completely healed themselves going carnivore. Like they've basically put their autism in almost remission where they can just function completely, which is amazing. So that movie right now is on Tubi. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but it's on Tubi, Tubi, for free. Tubi's just you can go tubi.com, I think it is, and watch it, stream it. It'll be in my review too. But if you want to watch it again, it is free and very good.
Hey guys, I got some great news on that front. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and there was a doctor on there. I actually watched one of his videos today, and for the life of me, I can't call his name. But he works at Duke University. I mean, Duke University is kind of worldwide famous. Well, he's a low-carb keto. He's actually a carnivore, but he really, talks about the low-carb. And he talked to people at Duke University and letting him open a keto clinic. So it's the ketogenic medicine section of Duke University. And the way he did that, there's a lot of people come in for surgeries, but they're too unhealthy to go through surgery, whether it be hip replacement or gastric bypass or whatever. And he convinced the coin collectors there at Duke University that if he could open up this clinic and help people get their weight under control, that they could actually do more surgeries. Well, as it's turned out, they're doing less surgeries because as people adopt this diet, they're no longer needing the surgeries. But you can look it up. Duke University actually has a ketogenic clinic at Duke University. So that's pretty amazing.
I think that's Dr. Westman. Great. Eric Westman, is that who it was?
Yeah, exactly. That's Dr. Westman. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's one that got the whole ball rolling. And he said it was like pulling teeth because he had to convince the collective, the money people to invest, millions of dollars into this clinic. And he did it by convincing them they would actually do more surgeries because people would be more eligible for surgery. And I guess he knew in the back of his mind that people would probably not need the surgeries. But so now at Duke University, you can actually go there and be treated with ketogenics as opposed to pharmaceuticals.
Yep,
that's great.
That's awesome.
So, Greg, do you have a update on the football game?
I don't. I went to commercial.
Okay.
So
all right.
So I didn't know Detroit completed a big pass. So
the Lions just scored a touchdown pass.
Oh, wow.
Really? Nice.
I think they made the extra point. I missed the extra point. So I think they made it. So I think it's 7-3. So it's either 6-3 or 7-3. The Lions actually have the lead. I don't know how long it's going to last, but they got the lead. All right. I do see a question in here, but let me go to a couple of things really quick before that. RB Good Fat says south of Miami here, right before the Keys.
That's way down.
Yes. Greg, of course, is from Iowa, so I put that up here. I am from Virginia. Larry, I know you're in Texas. Where in Texas are you from?
I'm just north of Austin by Fort Hood.
All right. And John, how about you? Where are you at?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. I think you said that already. Okay. All right, cool. So that's kind of gets us up to date there. Let us know in the comments. Some people might have already, where you're from. I think people might already put that in there, but we've got a question we're going to go to real quick. All right. What's the game? Oh, by the way, this is Crypto Carnivore. So thanks for the question. What's the game plan for Halloween? Hate to support candy industry, but active young neighborhood and love how everyone participates. This is a really good question because I remember being a little kid and being like, okay, we're not going to that house because that's the lady that gives us the apples. Of course, I wouldn't want an apple anyway, but let's start, John, let's start with you. What's your thought here about Halloween and supporting the candy industry and so forth? Are you going to do that, or what are you going to do?
Well, we probably will. Again, if you get a chance to watch today's video, I kind of talk about this subject today, but our neighborhood, like Crypto Carnivore, our neighborhood, we have a lot of young people in here, and my wife and I really look forward to the kids coming around and doing the trick or treating. We set out on the porch with the light on. We hand out candy. If I boycott the candy industry, is it going to make a difference? Probably not. And we just love seeing the kids come around in their trick or treating. All our kids are grown and gone, so it's kind of nice to see the little ones. So unfortunately, or fortunately, we're probably going to hand out some candy. I'll confess my sins later, but I'll probably hand out candy because I just love the interaction with the neighborhood and the kids and stuff.
All right. How about you, Larry? What are you going to do?
Yeah, so we talked about this last night on my live stream. So if you do want to watch the full discussion, you can check that out. It's in there. And this is what we came up with. So I don't want to support the industry. And I always celebrate Halloween just like you guys do. And I love the kids. We have a young neighborhood too. And I always used to do Halloweeny. So what I do is I set my grill up at the top of the driveway. I decorate the whole house, graveyard and everything. And then I do hot dogs. I go to Costco and I buy a bunch of hot dogs and buns and I grill up dogs and put water on ice and people can come get dinner while they're trick-or-treating. So they all know me, all the neighbors do. But I always had the bucket full of candy on one table and the hot dogs on the other table. This year, the ideas we came up with is one, I'm getting these beef sticks, grass-fed beef sticks. I'm getting them at Costco. I'm going to have these in a bowl, but I'm also going to have some like temporary kids' tattoos and glow-in-the-dark bracelets because they get enough candy anyway. So giving them a gift will be good enough, I think, where they're not going to be, well, they don't want a meat stick. Great, have a glow-in-the-dark bracelet. You can get them really cheap. I think one of the people that was on the video commented and said they're like $100 for $17 or something. So I mean, they're just a little snap-on glow-in-the-dark chemical bracelets, and the kids will love that. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and it's just really. Now that I know sugar is such a poison, and I was so addicted to it that I know they're gonna have enough sugar. And someone on my discussion last night said, "Well, it's only one night a week," and I said, "Yes, that's true. If that was the only night they were eating candy, that would be fine. But they're gonna eat candy for a week after this, and beyond that, I don't want to support that industry because that's their only product, and it is a poison, and they are actively poisoning, our population." So I just don't want to support it. So that's me. I mean, I'm not going to cast judgment on any of my neighbors that want to do that or friends or even here because, everyone can do their own thing. That's just that's my plan for me.
All right. And Greg, how about you? Any thoughts on this?
Those are some good ideas. I'm guessing I'm going to be the Grinch here. We are not going to hand out Christmas candy or Halloween candy this year.
I'm rubbing off on you today.
Yeah, I guess.
All my bloopers I've had so far.
I'm guessing, we moved from a location where we'd have 100 and some kids all the time. And now we just don't have any. So we just don't turn the light on. Another idea, I guess, for people would be, hand out some money, dollar, or maybe a 50-cent piece, bigger coin, depends on how big the kid is. You don't want them choking on it, of course, but I liked some of the ideas, the temporary tattoos. I think that's a great idea. Some kind of little toy, maybe. It just all depends on how many kids you get and how generous you want to be, I guess.
So I got a good story here for the dollars that you were talking about, right? When I first got married, one of the things you do is you have this thing called a dollar dance where everybody pays $1 to dance with you or your wife, whatever, right? So that Halloween, which was just, like a month later, we ran out of candy. And it was the first time in the house, and we didn't know how many kids there would be, and we ran out of candy. So my wife went to go get some more candy and told me, well, we got a bunch of dollars, just start giving them out. First doorbell ring, I go out there, I give the kid $1, and he starts running and yelling, they're giving out dollars. In 30 seconds, I had like 15 kids at my door. I got them their dollars really quick and turned off the light. And I called my wife. I'm like, don't get any more candy. We're done. I just gave away half of our money.
One other idea. Someone commented in the comments, but one other idea we did talk about last night too was stickers, Halloween stickers, because kids love stickers. And so, or erasers too for school. Kids love erasers. You get like Halloween erasers. Anyway, just want to throw that out. Yeah, there you go. Already good fact. That's something that they did talk about last night.
Yeah, I'm falling way behind here in the chat. Let me catch up. So that was the question that we had. All right, I want to put this in here. Susan says, my 16-year-old grandson is high-functioning autistic, but sadly on the SAD diet. So hopefully, he'll get a chance to go on low-carb or carnivore.
It didn't take long for that girl to change either. I mean, it's pretty in front of your eyes. I think it was like less than 30 days, and she was completely different. It was like weeks.
That's great. Eric did confirm they made the extra point, so it's 7-3. I am a Red Wings fan too, by the way. I'm a really big Red Wings fan. I'm just a big Detroit fan because I lived in Toledo, so I lived 45 minutes away from Detroit. So I'm a huge Red Wings fan. I'm so glad Yzerman is back there and is building the team back up. But it looks like they're losing 2-1 right now. So it's just preseason.
It's preseason.
Yeah.
I've got my Lidstrom jersey on.
Cool. CBABC says beef jerky and boiled eggs for Halloween support. Beef jerky's a good one. Yeah.
The only thing I worry about with giving out like boiled eggs is if they're not factory sealed, then if someone can claim being sick, you can be targeted for a lawsuit. So I know that because I did church work before and we were giving sandwiches out and the church got sued because some homeless person said they got sick and a lawyer got involved and they had to settle. So I always go with factory sealed things if I can. I mean, these are expensive. I'm going to have some of these, but I think that's the way to go. Just be careful. You never know.
Yeah, that's a great point. All right. So Becky says, I am having a YouTube live that night and it's called Ignore Trick-or-Treaters with me, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So there you go. So that'll be 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So she's going to have a live on Halloween. Grateful Keto. How about handing out dollar store games and toys?
Yep.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Dollar store trips always fun. You can get that's where you get the stickers, the blow them, the glow sticks, whatever you want. They'll love it. They're getting enough candy anyway. It's not like they're gonna be, oh my gosh, I didn't get candy, and they got like a whole bag full of it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Colleen Ward is from Tyler, Texas. I give out glow in the dark armbands and bracelets.
Colleen was the one that actually made that comment that I picked it up on. So thanks, Colleen. How much would you put in there again? I think it was like $17 for 100 or something. And where did you get those? I need to get them.
All right.
That's a great idea.
Yes. Let me see, where am I at? Okay, here I am. Susan says, I stopped celebrating Halloween several years ago, but that's my personal choice. That's a great alternative, Larry.
Halloweeny. I'd like the interaction with the neighbors. You meet the parents and the kids. You know, they all know me now. I'm the hot dog guy. Halloweeny guy.
All right. Crypto carnivore, we get hundreds of kids in our neighborhood. Beef sticks would be crazy expensive and most likely not a fan favorite. Still trying to work it out. Yeah, I think my experience the last few years where I live, we've had maybe one or two kids that come. There's been hardly anybody that comes anymore by our house. It's really since COVID, to be honest. Like before that, we used to get probably 50 to 100 kids. Now, maybe a couple kids. That's it. It's interesting. Facebook user Larry, love your approach to Halloween, taking that advice. Carnivore Backwoods. John says, if you live in the backwoods, you don't need to worry about trick-or-treaters.
But you do have to worry about the bears.
Yes. Susan, I don't celebrate Halloween anymore, and no one comes here anyway. Okay. Colleen said Walmart and Amazon 100 for $15. So there you go.
That's affordable. Spend $30, get a couple hundred, hand a couple out. And the other thing is I like is kids get more visible, so then less likely to get hit by a car if they're glowing, right? So it's good. It's safety too. Great idea, Colleen. Love that.
Quick update. I don't know what's been happening, but the Lions are already at the Green Bay 15-yard line with a first down.
Oh yeah, Dave Saunier said about the hot dogs. It's true. It is. It's different. How's it different than handing out beef jerky? True. I guess. I don't know. I mean, I just ask them if they want a hot dog or they want it. But I don't know. I've always told my kids don't eat any candies or anything that's not sealed. And when they, because you worry about razor blades or whatever, all the wives' tales out there. So maybe for a kid it's different, but true. That's true. You got me on that, Dave.
Yeah, that's an interesting
Dave
one.
Saunier is a retired chief petty officer from Louisiana that I interviewed for Mission Carnivore. He's a great dude. And he's also an endurance athlete who doesn't do any carbs, so it's great. He does like 100-mile bike rides just on carnivore, which is great.
Wow. All right. So Sean says, what's up, fellers? All right. So Greg, the nutrition label, back to the labels again. We didn't really get a chance to talk to you much about that. What's been your approach? Now I know you're doing carnivore right now, but you have been doing keto for quite a while. So what's been your approach with looking at the nutrition facts and so the ingredients list and so forth?
I definitely did a lot more of that when I was on a ketogenic diet. Just seeing all the different ingredients in there. I was always looking for sugar because that's one of those things that you do not want to have that in the list. And then, it's what's sad is all the ingredients that you see had natural flavors. Well, what's natural flavors? For all I know, there's species in there. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's kind of a scary thing, but it's in a lot of the different ingredients. So that one's kind of you kind of roll with it. But spice, I'm with Larry. You got to really be careful on spices because a lot of times there's hidden sugars in there. It's maybe down on the list, or sometimes you run into them where there isn't any, which is a good thing because that's one you can use. But there's definitely at first I didn't look for oils a lot. When I first started in the keto diet, I was losing weight by eating them. But as I got into it more and more, I realized, hey, no more than Mission zero net carb shells or tortillas, there's some oils in there that are not healthy for you. Granted, they make good little pizza crusts, but it's one of those things as I evolved in my diet, I realized, hey, I shouldn't be eating that stuff. It's not healthy based on the ingredients. You learn as you go. And it's one of those things that, I just kind of keep an eye out. Big thing for me, like I said before, was looking for sugar, any kind of flours, that type of thing. But, now it's pretty easy with doing carnivore, checking things out. I guess the biggest thing I look for is I do like to I put salt on my meat, but once in a while I do put some seasoning. I want to make sure it's going to be not harmful to me. So.
Yeah. All right, a quick game update. The Lions scored again, another touchdown. It's now 14-3.
Ryan's gonna get up and dance on the desk.
Hey, that's their
trying to hold my
preseason
excitement
MO.
down. Holding my excitement down.
That's what they do in preseason. Come on, every year.
Well, this is regular season. We're not in preseason anymore.
Oh, you're right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, what's your record? I don't watch football.
3-1 or 2-1? 2-1.
Really?
Wait, or is it 3-1? How many games have they played?
Yeah, you're right.
They're tied with Green Bay for first place. This is week 4, so they were 2-1. Green Bay and Detroit are both 2-1, and they're playing each other tonight. All right, so again, this was his name Don? I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Dave Saunier.
Dave. Okay. Yeah. All right, so Dave says, I mean, if you live in a small neighborhood where everyone I can see handing out beef jerky because they all know who you are and you know them. But I guess if you live in a huge neighborhood where you only know 10%, then maybe handing out commercially wrapped stuff is best. That's a good point. I agree. Yeah. All right.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
So I'm having a sparkling water. This is Waterloo, is the brand. It's just sparkling water, but it does say naturally flavored, and it's clear. It's not, it's not a dark color. It's just clear. And I do drink these just for a little treat. I mean, they probably have stevia in them or something. What's your guys' thoughts on sparkling water?
I drink it, but I usually drink the unflavored, like Topo Chico. Because it is mineral water and it's got a lot of minerals, like our ancestors drank water from streams and ponds, had a lot of minerals in it. So I like that. And I drink something in Texas called 1877, which is a Texas mineral water. The one Topo Chico is a Mexican mineral water. I stay away from anything with any sweeteners in it because I know my body, and I think this is part of what we're talking about. When you become a carnivore, you have to hone your skills at being a carnivore, and that's learning your body and your reactions. When I have any sweeteners of any type, one, it stalls my weight loss, and two, it makes me crave at 6 p.m. every night. I'll be doing laps around the kitchen looking for something to eat, sweet, or even not even sweet, just something to eat. And if I'm not doing any sweeteners, I never get cravings. So that's me, and I think some people are that way. But I think mineral water is fine. Sparkling water is fine. The natural flavoring thing, I mean, look that up. There's some interesting videos, like the beaver anal glands that are used to make fruit, flavors and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's bad for you. I don't think it's going to hurt you.
Yeah. What do you think, Craig?
I would say you could drink those. I mean, I've been able to do that and lose weight and not have any problems. So, you just got to be careful again, check the ingredients. But for the most part, I mean, I haven't had any troubles and I'm still losing weight by drinking them on occasion. So, do you and what works for you. I guess that's my thing. And if you enjoy it, why not? You got to live life a little too. And as long as it's, working for you, then why not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll share my experience with this. I used to drink Waterloo, like the sparkling ice, all those types of things. Right. And I was losing weight. But then I eventually hit a spot where I kind of had a stall and I wasn't losing weight anymore. And when I completely removed all of those and just went straight to water, I started losing weight again. So it might be one of those things where you'll eventually notice a stall with it. And that could be a good thing, though, because then you could stop and go straight to water, and maybe that'll help you get past that stall again and start losing weight again. So
yeah.
Yep.
I will say that I quit drinking diet soda and all that kind of. I don't drink unsweetened tea or anything. This is my only vice, and I only have one a day, sometimes one every other day, and I drink water probably 99% of the time, just filtered water.
Cool. All right, we got some more comments, but before we go into them, I'm going to bring in another guest.
John. What's up, brother?
John, Carnivore Backwoods. How you doing?
Everyone loves your shirt. Everyone loves your shirt. I put a picture up. Everyone says, I want that shirt on all the groups I'm on. So I've been pointing them towards you, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I just put up a new shirt. All it says is Carnivore Life. So I just went with a very simplistic design for people who just want something simple.
Cool.
Great.
So how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Good.
Brian's happy.
His Lions are winning. The Lions are winning.
The Wings are down 2-1 still, and the Capitals are in a power play. But only 50 seconds left in the second, so it's going to be good. Actually, Wings are full strength now, so we're good. And the Wings are they're shooting right now. Okay, well, I won't do what we play to play, but.
All right. Let me catch us up on some comments here. Susan said, did anyone see Dr. Barry's post about finding local farmers in your state? So, Greg, you're shaking your head. So why don't you tell us about that one?
Yeah, he had I'm trying to, I think it was just, I don't know if it's to his community board or what. I can't remember if I saw it on Facebook or if it was YouTube, but basically you can click on it and go right to your state. And in there is a list of like local farmers that you can buy from. Now, I think it's fairly new because I looked at my area and there didn't show anything, but I'm sure and I live in rural Iowa. So, you're not going to see that, but in some of the bigger cities and you may see more things, but I thought that was kind of neat because basically, you can go in and find local farmers to find some of your food, especially, if you're looking for beef and stuff. I mean, that's pretty cool.
All right. So we've got two Johns on here now. So we've got John from the champion within, and John from Carnivore Backwoods. So we got to make sure that I'm distinguishing between the two. But John, Carnivore Backwoods, let's go to you. Do you have you seen that post, or you got any ideas about, finding local farmers in your state and so forth?
Well, there's always been some local websites. I don't know I didn't see Ken Berry's post, so I can't speak to it. But there's always been some normally local farm to fork websites everywhere that I've ever been that you can do and look up local farmers. Actually, I found one over here. I think it's I think the farm's called Lick Skillet Farm. It's not too far from me that I was looking at as a potential for finding some local raised meat. But there's some great resources out there, and every area has a community built around the farm to fork community. So you just got to find out where that is and reach out and find yourself a local farmer. It's definitely worth doing. Like I said last night in our live, a farmer is working 24/7, 7 days a week. There's no days off. There's no going on vacation. There's no leaving town. Nobody's going to feed those animals but themselves. They can't they can hardly relinquish those duties to somebody else, maybe some family or something. But they work 24/7. They're up in the middle of the night, birthing, pigs or birthing cows. They're doing it for the labor of love, and they're worth every penny for what you get from them. And their animals are well raised and well cared for.
Yeah, well said. So Larry, around you, are there any good farmers that you know of? Good local farmers for anybody that lives around you?
I'm in Texas. Come on, let me tell you. I mean, if I make a left out of my neighborhood, I go 100 yards and there's someone selling beef.
Here's the question: Do they sell it locally, or because it's Texas, are they all
buy into a cow, or you tell your neighbor and jump on and say, "Well, let's go half on a cow," and you just contact them. And so literally, my town has no stoplights. Okay, that's where I'm living. I'm living in Gerald, Texas. So if I go out my neighborhood, literally make a left, there's a couple farms right there that I can just drive up. I can get eggs. I can, I can talk to, and then there's meat processing companies all over the place here for, deer and venison and, pig, pork. So I can go to there, and they always have meat sitting there. So I don't have to go to the grocery store, although I do have a Costco 10 miles from my house too. So I'm like in the perfect sweet spot to leave, where I can go to Costco or I can go, hit the processing place. So yeah, Texas is pretty easy. And actually I know people that were retired soldiers that were veterinarians that actually raise beef too. And I bought in on cows with them too. So, some Angus. I tried a Longhorn once, wasn't a fan. If you've never had Longhorn, it's really tough. They're survivors. They're a tough cow, and they can handle the heat. In fact, those big Longhorns are like an air conditioner that lets them be out there, and they're very resistant to disease. So disease-resistant, tough animals, they take the heat. That's why they're Texas cows, but their meat is pretty tough. You got to do a lot to get that tender. So I prefer an Angus. But anyway, yeah.
So what I heard there was basically if you're looking to move, you want to move to Texas.
And no income tax. Hey, just saying.
Oh, there you go.
But you got 107 degrees for like 30 days. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah. It could be worse. You could be in Phoenix. It'd be like all year almost. All right. So, John, how about in Charlotte, North Carolina? What kind of options do you got out there?
Well, to pick up on what the other John said about farmers working and ranchers working 24/7, ironically, my father, who lives down in Georgia, just outside of Augusta, is a cattle farmer. He raises Black Angus cows. He's 81 years old, and he is the hardest working human being I've ever met. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's 200 miles from my dad's house to my house. He's never been here. He can't leave his farm. It's just him and his brother-in-law. He's 81. His brother-in-law is 79. They got about 30 head of cattle, and they do everything by themselves. Plus, he helps the neighbors' farmers that are too old to continue farming. So I talk about a labor of love. However, my dad doesn't sell his cows. He doesn't process his cows himself. He sells them at the market. So he doesn't he may, process one cow a year for he and his wife and his brother-in-law and his church family in the little town that he lives in. But here in Charlotte, we have I actually live outside of Charlotte. I live in Concord, just north of Charlotte. And we have a farmers market here every Saturday. And there are 3 local ranchers within probably a 40, 50-mile radius of here. And they bring their product to the farmers market. So lately, when I've had extra money, I go there and I try to support them at the farmers market. Recently bought some ribeyes, some chuck steak, and some hamburger patties. It was a little more expensive, but I can tell you the taste was markedly different. The texture, the taste, the fat was markedly better than what I get at Walmart or Costco. But the price is a good bit higher. So when I can, I like to support them. And maybe one day I can talk my dad into give me one of his cows.
All right. We have our final guest coming in, so I'm going to bring him in now. This is Brad. Hey, Brad, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey,
So
Brad.
before I go to any comments, since you just joined, let's see what your take is on any local farmers in your area. Any good ones out there?
In my area? So it's been a while since I bought a quarter beef. I don't do that anymore because all the kids are out of the house. So it's just me and my wife. But I have bought quarters of beef before when the kids are there, which is a lot better product. But I did find that when I did that, I ate a lot more. Like, it's than just going grocery shopping. Like, it's like, oh, I got steaks in the freezer. I'm having steaks. Like, and then the next, a couple nights later, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get some more steaks out. And I burned through the steaks just real fast because knowing that I had them available. So I saved money by buying a quarter beef, but I ate it a hell of a lot faster than I would have if I just went to the grocery store. So, but definitely good stuff for sure. It's a hell of a lot better than buying at the store.
So, Brad, I didn't give you a chance to introduce yourself. So why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to all of us and tell us how you found this way of eating and so forth.
So I'm Brad Tiedemann. I do the low carb thing. Been doing low carb for over 8 months now. I know you guys are doing the carnivore thing now, but I'm a type 1 diabetic. And so it was a big deal going to low carb for me and my wife both. We actually started off just to lose some weight, and the more we did low carb, the more we understood and did more research, and that just the control of our blood sugars just completely changed for the better. So the control we've had with our blood sugars has just been phenomenal. Going to low carb and the more research on YouTube, just I think I've told Greg before, it's like I've learned more on YouTube here the last 8 months than I've learned from my doctors in 33 years of being a diabetic. So it's just I'm just pissed off actually.
Yeah.
for a lot of the advice and stuff that we've been given, and the plans we've been put on, and the dietitian advice, and it's all been, excuse my French, but it's all been horse shit, for the last 8 months have just been really, really good. So I've lost 50 pounds. My wife has lost 34 pounds. We're back to the weights that we were at when we were dating. I'm basically back to the weight I was right after I got out of college. So it's good stuff. Yeah, just been good, a good deal. So Greg posted so that's my new YouTube page, but I don't have any videos or anything on it. I had to create it to be able to comment on all the videos that I watch. So
you got to start somewhere.
Yep. So you won't find any videos on my page yet, but I have a feeling I'm going to end up making some. But
what's your page again? I'm going to go subscribe. So
just at low carb type 1 wolf. It's on I think Greg just put it up on the screen there.
There it is. Okay, I see.
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
So,
Brad, you need to post some videos, because you can speak to an audience that the rest of us can't speak to. You could literally help save somebody else's life.
Yeah.
I encourage you, post videos, even if you have to ad lib, just put something out there and try to encourage other type 1s. That's phenomenal. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I do need to do that, and I've definitely thought about it a lot. And because there's just a lot of really bad information out there, and I've put together a lot of data now. I've got Excel spreadsheets I've put together just to show like my carb usage, my reduction of insulin usage. And like people can save a lot of money even going to low carb, as expensive as insulin is. If people don't have good insurance, it could help them in their pocket as well as help their health. So,
right.
I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to subscribe right now.
There you go. So I got to give a quick update in the game. The Lions got a field goal, and then they just intercepted a pass and just scored another touchdown. So it's 23-3 with the extra point coming up.
Wow.
Crazy. All right. I got to catch us up on some comments here. I'm like 20 minutes behind on comments, so let me start catching us up. Pure Bride, hi, I just got home from my son's rehearsal dinner. He's getting married tomorrow. Hello, and congratulations for your son. Oops, wait, what did I do? There was a great comment that I accidentally hit to remove before I showed it. Now I got to find it. I don't know where it was now. Oh well, somebody said "Go Lions." I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry, but it was a great comment. All right, here we go. CBABC. You could always hand out brochures detailing dangers of diabetes, etc. Okay, don't do that. That's going back to Halloween night. Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Your house get toilet paper or egged.
Becky says, products with some of the natural flavors give me heartburn. My son works in a food factory. He says you don't want to consume it. Yep.
Yeah.
Low carb carnivore. Hey, everyone. So hello, low carb. Oh, here's a good one. Susan says that she clicked on her state. This was the Dr. Berry link, and it broke down South Carolina to different parts. Then I clicked on the southwestern area and found several within 30 to 100 miles away. So that's pretty good. Looks like that is pretty good link then. Tanya says, I am in Texas. I love Texas. Moved here from Germany 22 years ago.
All right.
And Carnivore Ron, congrats, everyone. Hello, Ron. Good to see you out there. Let's see.
Go see Cole. Yeah.
My dad had a small cattle ranch as well. Most of the meat was for us, and he sold calves to local and some to local butchers. I honestly, no difference from the beef we raised and Walmart. Interesting. Susan says, I hear Aldi has great meat, but I have Walmart Plus and free delivery because my vehicle engine blew a year ago.
I mean, I eat Walmart meat. I eat Costco meat too, and I got all my results on that. So I haven't been eating no grass fed, just regular meat.
Yep. I eat a lot of Costco and Aldi. So they did make the extra point. It's 24-3 early second quarter. How's that hockey game going? Is it still 2-1?
I think it's 3-1. We're down now.
Oh,
let me
geez.
check.
Only preseason.
Yeah, it's 3-1. It's 11 minutes left in the third, so not looking great, but it is preseason. So.
All right. So let's get back onto some topics here. So again, we've talked a lot about ingredients and checking the nutritional label and the ingredients on different foods and so forth. So Carnivore Backwoods, John, I don't know that we really talked to you yet about what you do in terms of looking at ingredients when you go to the store. So I know, again, you're carnivore, so you're probably getting mostly whole foods, but when you do go into those situations looking for bacon or whatever, what's your keys for the ingredients that you look at?
Well, I'm always looking at the ingredients of everything that we get. They hide sugar. There's about 80 different terms, that's used on a label to describe a form of sugar or another. So you have to educate yourself to know what those are, because they'll put it on there, no carbs, no sugar on the label. But then as you delve through the ingredients, you're going to find all kinds of stuff that are carbs and are sugar, and they get away with doing that. I'm not overly picky, and I don't get really critical about some things. Like, if I can get organic cream, I'll buy it. But if I can't, then I'm going to buy my cream for my coffee. Bacon, I try to make sure it's sugar free, but I'm not concerned about nitrates or in it. I keep it pretty simple. So when we're doing steak, eggs, and a little bit of bacon, hamburger, occasionally we'll delve into something. But most things, if it's got more than 2 or 3 ingredients, you can just pretty much plan that it's got some garbage in it. So that's where I normally am on it. I'll pick up stuff, like I picked up some jerky the other day, and I found this. It was called Wild River Jerky. Really clean. I was actually really impressed with it. No sugar added in it, no additive chemicals in it. It was just basically beef and salt and a little bit of seasoning, which I thought was pretty cool. But most of the time that stuff's hard to come by, and you really got to watch every label on everything that you're consuming. My daughter, or my wife's daughter, Charlotte, she keeps sending me pictures. What do you think about this? And I'm like, well, it's right there. The third ingredient, sugar. The next ingredient, dextrose. It's in there. And you got to look for it. And it will mess you up if you don't pay attention to it. You'll be thinking, why ain't I losing weight? I'm not consuming the sugar. And then, but when you really delve into it, you're still consuming a lot of sugar that you just didn't know you were getting. And I personally, think they do that on purpose. But
it's engineered. it's addictive too, and it's engineered. I mean,
Yeah.
I did a video on the ingredients in McDonald's French fries. There's 14 ingredients.
Yeah. I got my camera right. I got my camera right in front of Larry. Here, I can't see him. Hold on. There we go.
So yeah, the 14 ingredients in McDonald's French fries. And when I grew up, there were 3. It was potatoes, lard, and salt. Now the salt has 3 ingredients, and the fries have 11 ingredients. So you have 14 total ingredients, and I guarantee you that's more expensive to make than potatoes, lard, and salt. And they do it on purpose because it's also the #1 selling item, because they're engineering it to make it very addictive. And they know exactly what they're doing. They call it a bliss point. They're making a bliss point with it. And if you haven't heard of that, watch the documentary, that sugar film. It's really good. They talk about that, and they explain it in detail. But yeah, for sure, you're right, John. It is addictive, and it's on purpose.
Yeah, it's on purpose. And the French fries, and you're right, the ingredients in French fries are horrible. But if you just know how they're grown, you would never really touch them again, because McDonald's does not want there to be a black spot in their fries. And so they spray a chemical on the fields. And thereafter, the farmers won't go out there because the stuff is so toxic that it'll hurt you. And so the farmers, they have to wear rubber boots and suits, and they go out there and they spray the fields with this chemical, which is on your food. And the farmers don't want to go out there because it's toxic. But now we're going to take that food and we're going to process it and turn it into French fries that everybody in the world's consuming. And we're wondering why people have all these strange diseases popping up. Oh my God, think about all the chemicals that we're consuming in a day-to-day basis that we didn't consume even 20, 30 years ago. And we can go back 60, 80, or 100 years, we didn't consume any. But just going back 20, 30 years ago, there's 90% of what we consume now is garbage. It's not fit for human consumption. It's absolutely mind-boggling. And most of it comes in by truck. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but most restaurants nowadays don't have cooks. Okay, there's not a cook in the back making food. This food's coming in prepackaged in a thing. It's a TV dinner, and U.S. Foods is delivering it to the back of the restaurant. The restaurant opens up these packets. They heat this food up and they shove it out the window as this big a meal that supposedly they cooked. There might have been a little bit of eggs cooked. There might have been a steak that was cooked on a grill. But most of the food, especially if it's pasta or any type of processed, ultra processed food, all this stuff came in the back door pre-made, and all they're doing is microwaving it, heating it up, and shoving it out the window. And everybody's out there paying $20 for this amazing dish that they could have gone to the supermarket and got for $3. It's absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got a couple questions. First of all, Cindy is here. Hello, Cindy. Here's question number 1. Do you guys use seasonings on your food? What do you eat when you're at restaurants? So we're just going to go around everybody here. So Greg, let's start with you.
I like to use Redmond salt on my stuff at home for the most part. I really don't go out to eat too much, to be honest. I prepare a lot of my food here, so it just makes it easier. I know what's in the food, and it tastes better, and that's just all there is to it, I guess. I like to use Redmond's. Once in a while, I'll use some pepper as well, but for the most part, I really like Redmond's, so it's pretty good.
All right. And John, to the right there, Charlotte, North Carolina, John.
I use Redmond salt, but I do use a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning. And I actually read the ingredients, talking about the ingredient labels. And yesterday I read the ingredients, kind of really paid attention to it. And I think the 4th ingredient was sunflower seed oil. So a little bit of seed oil in there. So I've really cut back on how much of that I'm using. I have about 1/4 of a container left. When it's gone, I won't use any more. Just trying to use it up. And as far as going out to restaurants, I've only been out to eat 3 times since July 1st. My wife and I celebrated our 30th anniversary on Monday, and we went out to a steakhouse, and I just had a bacon cheeseburger with no bun, no condiments. I just ate the bacon and then ate the 2 burger patties, and that was all. Other than that, I don't eat out.
All right, Larry, how about you?
Yeah, I use Redmond salt and Redmond smoked salt. I did, I went really clean for first over 120 days probably, where just salt, right? And then I bought some, it was garlic powder, and just thought, well, I'd put some on some ribs, and I did smoke some ribs with garlic powder and salt. And I thought I was going to really love it, and I didn't. So I've never used it again. I used it once. I'm like, okay, I don't even miss that. And it's why introduce it, right? So once you get to a certain point in the diet, you really just crave salt. In my experience, that's what I've been. So I want salt on everything. And when I go out, I've gone out to Texas Roadhouse, picked my steak, told them I had an allergy to seed oil, which I do, or vegetable oil. I say they don't know what seed oil is. Say, I have an allergy to vegetable oil, so please use butter on a clean rack. And they do, because they don't want you to they don't know what your allergy is, right? I mean, it could be anaphylactic shock, could just be minor. It is an allergy. If you're getting inflammation from having seed oil, that's an allergic reaction, right? So I don't think I'm lying or anything. I'm just saying, hey, listen. So I've done that a couple times, and I've gone to a Brazilian steakhouse. Got to recommend. Those are pretty badass. Now I know they're cooking stuff, and there's going to be some seed oils on these steaks, but since I only go once every 2 or 3 or 4 months, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's, you're trying to keep your linoleic acid down below like 1.6% or something, right? So, I mean, I think I'm down there because I don't eat any other dirty stuff. So if I go to a Brazilian steakhouse and they bring a sword with some meat and cut it off, I'm going to eat it. And it could be lamb or, that's a great night out. But other than that, I don't think I no longer look at dining or in or out as entertainment like I used to. I used to really think it was entertainment. And now it's just a biological function that I'm just getting through to do something more interesting in my life, right? So it's like going to the bathroom. It's like, I'm just going to eat and then go for a hike or something, right? Or do this project. Except for like when I go to the Brazilian steakhouse, or, if I go out with friends and they're going to be there. And if I go out with friends and I'm going to go to a place that's going to be tempting, I'll eat burger patties before I leave. And when I get there, I'll just get some little tiny thing and just, beef or something, just eat whatever. So that's me.
All right, John, down in Tennessee, what seasonings do you like to use?
So primarily we use Redmond salt, but I picked this up from Real Salt. It's chili lime. This stuff's the bomb. The wife made steaks with this last night. It was really, really good. It's made by Real Salt. It's good. It's chili lime. I actually bought it originally for seasoning up some shrimp that I was eating with my steak. But she put some on the steaks last night, and I was like, wow, that's really good. So I have a steak seasoning by Real Salt, but I couldn't find it. But I don't like it as well as I like this one. But that's the seasonings I use. Is primarily salt. And then I normally salt the steak, and then I'll probably end up salting it after cooking it. You end up consuming a lot more. You end up having to add more salt to your food because you're not getting it other ways. But I do like a little bit of seasoning. But we don't do the garlic salt like we used to. We don't do a lot of the other seasonings like we used to when we were on the SAD diet. I just don't have the cravings for them. I have no desire for them.
Right. That's what I found. No desire.
All right, Brad, what's your take on seasonings?
I use salt, pepper, garlic mix on my steaks, and then I also use the Montreal seasoning. I have that as well. As far as going out to eat, I travel quite a bit for work these days. So the first thing I do after the plane usually lands is I find get to my hotel, and then I try to find the nearest Texas Roadhouse, and then I'll always get a bone-in ribeye. I eat a lot of bone-in ribeyes at Texas Roadhouse when I'm traveling for work. So I'll get that, and then I always get steamed broccoli with it, and then that's it. I've actually stopped eating the buns. I used to really like the rolls there at Texas Roadhouse. I used to love those, but I have recently taken those off. I don't even ask for them anymore. So that's been a change for me.
That's like my kryptonite, going to Texas Roadhouse and those damn rolls everywhere. Oh my goodness.
And what's he want?
That,
yeah.
That and the cinnamon butter. Oh my, that's like, oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, man, it was a big deal for me to quit eating those damn things. And when they ask if I want them anymore, because usually I'm by myself when I'm traveling for work a lot of times, and so I just go to the bar at the Texas Roadhouse, and then the first thing I do is, do you want the rolls? And it's like, nope, don't bring them to me. And
have you seen Laura Spatz how I order at Texas Roadhouse video?
Yes.
I have not. No.
So this is what I did. It worked great. So you go to Texas Roadhouse, you pick your steak, your bone-in ribeye, you get that, and then you say, listen, I'll take the baked potato, but no potato, just sour cream, cheese, and bacon on there, and then they give you a bowl with that because you're paying for it anyway, right? And then you say, I'll take the salad, but no salad, just the egg and bacon. So they give you like a bowl full of egg with bacon, and that's like, I did that. It was great. I mean, because they got two sides of your steak, and you're paying the same price, but you're actually getting some good stuff. So
we did that when we went down to 4th of July down in Atlanta, and we stopped off at the Longhorn Steakhouse, and I went in there, and that's it was like, so I want a steak, I want a medium rare, and I want a baked potato loaded minus the potato. Just leave the potato off. Just bring me the sour cream, the cheese, the bacon bits, and the butter, and then I just put that all over the top of the steak. That's good eating, I'm telling you.
It is. That's what I did.
That's a big treat. I wouldn't eat like that daily, but I do love it when we're out and about. We go to get a steak somewhere. Yeah, bring me all the toppings for a baked potato, but don't bring me the potato. What cracks you up is when you're in there and they're like, "You sure you sure you don't?" I mean, I'll bring you whatever you want. I'll bring you this vegetable. I'm like, no, I don't want a vegetable. I don't want it. You don't need to bring it. Oh, you sure? Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try this whole loaded baked potato without the baked potato thing the next time I go there. That's pretty cool.
It's worth it. It's good.
It's worth every bit of it. Of course, you got to make sure they don't bring you the green chives because they'll still bring you those. You have to say no green chives, but all the rest of it's good.
All right, so we have another question here. What's one of the worst pieces of dietary advice that these dietitians give to you as a type 1 diabetic? So I'm trying to remember. Brad, are you the type 1 diabetic?
Yeah.
Yep. So this question's to you.
So one of the first things quite a while ago was when they just basically said you can eat whatever you want. All you got to do is take enough insulin for it. So it's like you can eat, you look at the carbs and you cover the carbs with insulin, and that's just horrible advice because it puts you on a roller coaster of high and low blood sugars. And then the other thing is like the last dietitian that I worked with, which was several years ago, set me up on 70 to 75 carbs per meal. And again, it's just a nightmare to try to manage that because there's like glycemic indexes that each different foods have, and it's just the wrong advice. And again, that they're just following the American Diabetes Association's advice, which is not very good. And I think there's a huge push for diabetics to get on low carb diet, but there's just so many politics behind the advice that's just ridiculous. And so that's what I've been finding with getting on the low carb plan and limiting carbs is, I don't go to zero by any means. I'm not doing the carnivore thing like you guys are doing, but just the impact of getting on low carb and just the control that I've had with blood sugar has been phenomenal. And that came from YouTube videos and just things on YouTube. That didn't come from my doctor or a dietitian or anything. It was just me following more advice on YouTube, basically, and the things that I find. And I read a book called Doing Diabetes Differently, which talked a lot about low carb, and that was really good. And then there's another book out there that's been out for a while called the Diabetes Solution, and that's really good advice too on how to manage it and how to you basically rate your control based on your A1C measurement that you get every 3 to 6 months. And the American Diabetes Association says that if you're running under 7%, that you're under control. But my last A1C, which was right after I'd just gotten into doing low carb, was 6.2, which was the best A1C I've ever had. But I go in on Monday to get my A1C checked, and I have a feeling I'm hoping, I have a feeling I'll be under 6%, which is way better than the 6.8 to 7.1 where I used to run when I just tried to follow the advice that I'd been given before. So definitely a lot better way to do things. There's just a lot of really shitty advice out there, and I think the doctors are actually required to follow certain recommendations based on, you know, the American Diabetes Association recommendations and just what they think diet should be. So yeah, I guess that's my answer to that question. So
have you seen that movie, Fat Fiction?
I have not.
Check it out, because they have a kid that gets diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he's like 5, and the parents are given all the guidance to control his blood sugar, and they're like, well, just let him eat donuts and pancakes and just give him a shot. That's exactly what they said. And then when the parents found a high fat, low carbohydrate diet, not carnivore, it's just a low fat, low carbohydrate diet, they controlled his blood sugar really well, and all of a sudden he was fine. Well, the doctors in the hospital got mad, and they gave her they said she should be going for therapy because she's punishing her child by withholding sugar from him. It's ridiculous, but
it's bullshit, right? Because I've seen a lot of videos like that, and I mean, even when I was in the hospital, I mean, it's 33 years ago. It's like they throw food at you like you're normal. Well, you're not normal. You have an issue, you know, you have basically a disease, and it's like, so you should treat it like you're not a normal person. And everybody wants you to act like you're normal and just eat all the cake you want, just pump yourself up with insulin, right? But that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So it's like they got to get off that poor advice, that bandwagon that they put people on. I've watched other videos where, that's what they talk about, where their child was hospitalized, you know, or they found out they're diabetic, and they give them the advice that the first meal they give them is waffles, or and then they give them cake for dessert, and it's like, oh yeah, you just got to pump more insulin into them. So real recently here, my cousin found out that his boy, who is probably 8 to 10 years old, is a diabetic, and I've been talking with him, and I actually just wrote him, you know, a letter with giving them a whole bunch of information on like where you can go to learn more about low carb and how to better control, you know, your kids' diabetes. I mean, I feel happy. I was 18 years old, is right after I graduated from high school when I found out about it. I'm glad I was that old, and because I can't imagine having like one of my kids getting it. All my kids are older now, so you know, every time they got sick or whatever, the first, you know, you start worrying that, okay, they're going to have it now, because my wife's a type 1 diabetic too. So, which honestly was a very good help to me, because my wife pushes me a lot more than I push myself on staying under control. So, but yeah, it's just really, really, really bad advice that everybody's given, including myself. You know, like, I posted several comments here in the last couple of months to people how I've basically been told wrong the last 30 years. And like I said, I have my appointment with my diabetic doctor on Monday, and her and I are going to have some pretty good conversations. I might even fire her after that appointment, to be honest with you. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what she has to say about what I've done. Because, you know, like you said, Larry, people told the woman to go to therapy, that she should have fired that guy right there, because there's no reason you can't have normal blood sugars. Yes, you have to eat differently, but there's so many things that you can cook and you can live. That's my wife has written a 200 plus page low carb recipe book now, and a lot of it is just recipes we found on Facebook or whatever. But we eat like normal people. It's just cooked differently. We use a lot of like almond flour and a lot of sugar-free things, but we're eating a lot more meat too. So we're eating a lot more proteins. I sent a picture to Greg while I was on vacation. I was eating steak sandwiches for lunch. I just bought a whole bunch of New York strips and I just grilled them all, had extra ones. And I would throw the New York strip in the microwave and throw some butter on top of it. And that's what I'd have for lunch. And yeah. So
you're basically eating whole foods like I grew up eating. Before they had all this processed stuff, we used to eat real food. My mom, like I said, used to make salad dressing with buttermilk and seasoning. That was our salad dressing. That was ranch, quote unquote ranch. Now you look at a bottle of salad dressing, it's terrible.
There's a lot of terrible food out there for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I quit eating cereal like 10 months ago, and that's
huge.
And I switched. I eat eggs for breakfast a lot now, and I make every weekend. My wife I make omelets, so she loves omelets. So every weekend I get up, and that's what I do. I get up in the morning and make us omelets. So.
I got to roll, guys. It's been really fun. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed talking with all you guys.
Larry, did you get my challenge?
Oh, what was your challenge? Did I miss it?
I texted to you earlier.
You texted me. Oh, yeah. You texted me. I did see a text from you. Hold on. Oh, no, I didn't see it. I just got it. Let's see.
Well, guys, I only had 30 minutes to check in here, too. So it was nice talking to you for this short period of time.
Good meeting you, Brad.
Brian, I'm glad your lines are winning.
What the heck is this, John? Is this link going to be like some Chinese scam? You sent me this site?
No, it's a step challenge. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if you have an Android, a Google, or a Samsung phone. It'll all work on there. So it's a step challenge for October.
Okay, I'll take a look at it, John. Thanks.
I sent it to you. I sent it to Brian. I sent it to a few people.
Okay.
See who's up for a step challenge in October.
Okay, I can do a step challenge. I walk every day, so I'm good. I walk my dog Duke barefoot. I do the grounding thing. I don't know if it works, but I like walking barefoot. So, all right, guys, talk to you later. Thanks.
Thanks
for
Larry.
coming on, Larry.
Yep. Hey, it's 4-2. Detroit just scored.
Hey,
but there's only 2 minutes left. 2:58, so we don't have much chance. But all right, talk to you guys later.
Take care.
All right. So, John, I'm going to do that challenge.
Hey, John, I'm in on your
gonna
step
end
challenge.
up in last place.
Yeah, I'll send you a link. I can have up to 10 people in this group on this. So, if you want to do it, I'll send you a link to it. So it's a step challenge. It's just the max number of steps that you can get in the month compared to everybody else. It's not like there's a number that you're trying to get to. It's whatever you can do. But, I thought it would be a good challenge for the month of October. Now that the weather's cooling down, I want to get back out and start walking again. I don't walk in Tennessee when it's soupy weather. It's just, you know what I mean? You're in Charlotte. You know what I mean by soupy weather. I'm not walking in soupy weather.
Yeah. Ironically, I went to a park yesterday and I was listening to a podcast while I was walking. And the podcast was about a 2-hour and 10-minute podcast. It was a kind of a carnivore related podcast talking about uric acid. And I just listened to this whole thing and was walking the whole time. And when the thing was over, I walked back to my car and I'd done 17,000 steps and did a little math. It was about 7.2 miles. I've never walked 7 miles before. And I could have done it again, except for my left hip, which I have an artificial left hip, was getting a little bit sore. But yeah, I walked 7.1 miles yesterday. I couldn't have done that 3 months ago. I couldn't even walk 7 steps 3 months ago.
The wife and I went hiking. The wife and I went hiking over the weekend, and we went to 6 different waterfalls there in North Carolina and South Carolina there in Hendersonville. And I don't know how many steps we ended up hitting the whole entire time, but yeah, it was brutal. But I couldn't have done that 6 months ago. I mean, I was sore for a couple of days, but 6 months ago, we've been lucky if we'd seen one of the waterfalls and then carried me out of there.
Right. And that was what surprised me too. After all that walking yesterday, when I went to bed last night, I assumed that I would have a tough time getting up this morning, but not sore at all. I mean, I went to the gym and worked out pretty hard today, and I'm not the least bit sore. That's one thing about this carnivore diet that has surprised me, is that the recovery is just almost not. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how quickly I recover from things like that.
Definitely. Cool. All right. I've got another question here, but before I go to that question, I got Shannon here. Hello from Canada, new to carnivore. So hi, Shannon. Glad you're doing carnivore. Let us know if you have any questions. Just put a Q in front of it and ask away. We'll answer any questions you got. All right, so let's go to the next question here. Charlotte asks, can you still have yogurt while on the carnivore diet? And if so, what brands do you suggest? So let's just start down with John down in Tennessee on this one.
Okay, so I haven't had any yogurt since I've been on the carnivore diet, so I really can't answer that question. Charlotte is my wife's daughter, by the way, so she's been texting me on my phone too, asking me questions. So I think it's dairy, so it's questionable because dairy can stall your weight loss. So you got to be careful with it. And you got to make sure you got to watch your carb intake on it. Make sure there's no sugar in it. I would say plain yogurt maybe, but I honestly don't have a good answer for that. Have any of you guys ate any yogurt since you've been on the diet?
I haven't. Have you, John? No.
Yeah, I used to eat a lot of when I did the low-fat diet about 6 years ago, and I did the eat less, move more, low-fat diet. I actually lost 100 pounds doing it, but I was miserable. But I was eating a lot of the Greek yogurt, which is basically a fat-free yogurt. But since I got on this diet, I don't eat any yogurt. But my understanding, I've heard Dr. Berry talk about this, and he says if you eat a full-fat, plain, non-flavored yogurt, it'd probably be okay. Problem with that is a lot of dairy can be inflammatory. So part of the reason a lot of us do this diet is to get rid of the inflammation. And some of the dairy, for some people, can be inflammatory. So I might try a little bit, and if you feel okay, maybe do some more. But if you try some and you see the inflammation coming back or your weight loss stalling, maybe just move away from it.
You got the inflammation. You also got the histamines that are in dairy, and if you start getting the snotty nose and the congestion in the head and stuff, a lot of that time it's not a cold, it's just simply drinking milk. It does that to you. So it's definitely something that that you want to regulate. If I did it, I wouldn't do it a lot, and I would see how my body responded to it, and then adjust accordingly. If I can do it, then do it. But if you can't, then I would definitely be ready to stop doing it.
Yeah, Greg, cheese gives me that same. I get that phlegm in my throat. If I eat one piece of cheese, I'll cough for 3 hours. That phlegm in my throat just from one piece of cheese. So I have to really watch the dairy. I don't do much dairy at all.
Yeah, Greg, you got any thoughts on yogurt?
Yeah, I'm just going to give a quick update. It's 27-3 with 12 seconds left in the second quarter. So just for those of you following the game, I would say, do what works for you. If you can make yogurt work, then why not? If that's what you like, especially, I'm assuming you probably like yogurt pretty well. If you can make it work in your plan and you're not getting stalled out or having any problems, I don't see why not. I guess for any dairy, the only thing I really have is eggs, and I will have sour cream once in a great while. And some cheese on occasion. That's about it for dairy products for me. But like I said, if you can make the yogurt work and not have problems with it, then the more power to you. That's my advice.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody eat it on the diet on any channel anywhere that I've ever watched. So, I would just be careful with it.
Yeah. All right. So I was kind of hoping to bring this up when Larry was still on here, but I didn't get a chance, but I'm still going to bring it up. So when I actually interviewed Larry a couple weeks back, and we were talking a bit about our dogs. He has a dog. I have a dog, and he's been feeding his dog a carnivore diet. and I have been thinking about this, but at least a few different times I really thought about it pretty good. Like I did research and so forth, but I didn't go to it. And finally, after talking to him, I decided to go to it. So I wanted to give a quick update on that. I am feeding my dog carnivore now, but I'm easing her into carnivore. Kind of like how I eased in. I figured one of the things I've heard is when you move your dog to a raw meat carnivore diet, they will just like us humans, they'll have a couple of weeks of loose stools and issues like that. So I said, let me see if I can minimize that a little bit. So I'm easing her in. So what I'm doing, I still have some of the kibble left. So in the mornings, she's doing kibble. And then in the evening, she's having chicken. And right now we are cooking that chicken, and then eventually we're going to go to raw, but we're cooking it right now because my wife wanted to kind of ease in that way. So it's gonna be interesting to see. We're on like day 4 right now, and basically I took Larry's advice and got some chicken pretty cheap, and I've got a meat grinder at home, so it was kind of similar to what he was doing. Grinded up the meat so that it's basically ground chicken, and then she'll eat that, and she eats that as her second meal of the day. And she loves it. Like she gets excited. She knows when I'm getting it out that it's gonna be time for her chicken, right? So she loves it, and I think I'm gonna go probably at least this first week or so with the kibble in the morning, and then after that I'm gonna switch her to just the chicken. So she'll be chicken twice a day, and we'll see how it goes. Now she's a little bit of an older dog. She's 10, and she does have some issues with arthritis. Matter of fact, there's a little to her it's like a treat, but it's something that's supposed to help with her arthritis that she gets twice a day. So we've been giving that to her, and I'm hoping. I know when we started giving her that, it seemed to help with her arthritis a little bit, but I'm hoping just going to the meat, especially when we go raw meat diet for her, that's gonna really perk her up a little bit. I've heard a lot of good things in any of the research I've done or in videos I've watched about people that have been feeding their dogs that way. So I just want to bring that one up and wonder, do any of you have any experiences with a pet, a dog or whatever, and feeding them a meat-based diet instead of the kibble or whatever? No.
I don't, but I have a good friend of mine that lives out in California that raises Dalmatians. He doesn't breed them. He just gets them as a puppy, and that's his pet of choice. And he starts them off on a raw meat, all meat diet. And, those dogs typically, actually, it's a Great Dane. And those dogs typically live 8 to 10 years. It's kind of a lifespan for them. His average about 14 years, and they eat nothing but raw meat. But as far as your dog and the arthritis, now I understand that people and dogs are different. But I had really bad arthritis in my right hip and my left knee and my left foot and ankle, and it was almost debilitating. I mean, there for a while I was using a cane and then a walker. And when I went to the carnivore diet, it all went away. So hope springs eternal that your dog will really get some vitality back, because, arthritis is just miserable. It's just miserable.
Yeah, and that's one thing that Larry was telling me with his dog that I think his dog is a he. So I don't want to misquote that. I think but anyways, his dog had issues and just wasn't very active. And after going to the meat-based diet, it's been a huge difference. Very active now, doesn't show the signs of arthritis and so forth like in the past. So that's great. Homesick Buckeye is here. He says, "What up, fellas? Hello."
Hey, what's up, bud?
Let's see.
The game is at halftime, by the way. It's 27 to 3.
27 to 3. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so to answer your question, I did Larry's advice about grinding up chicken and feeding it to my dog, and we did some, but I ran through it, and I haven't had a chance to grind up anymore, so I haven't stuck to it. But I need to sit down and do it. But my problem is storage capacity. I have a little freezer, and it's stuffed full of steak. And so trying to figure out how to keep chicken in there and stuff and keep that cycling hasn't been exactly easy for me. But we did try to do the carnivore for one of the dogs. But I have, I have three, here that, so what, two of them love eating it. One of them wouldn't touch it. The older beagle didn't like it at all. And I've heard some people say that you got to warm it up for them, but I haven't tried that yet either.
Yeah. So I got like basically 2 weeks worth for my dog. I just have one dog, so it made it easier, obviously. And I got like 2 weeks worth here all at a time. So I'll have to see. I need to get more here so that, I don't want to wait until the last minute and then not be able to find a good deal on chicken or anything, right? So we'll see how that goes. RB Good Fat says, guys, going to head out, but thanks for the convo and great advice. Susan, thanks for the encouragement. Have a great night, everybody. All right. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
Hey, guys, I think I'm going to bounce as well. I appreciate the opportunity to come on, but I'm going to bounce. My wife's already gone to bed, and I'm out here making all this noise. So I appreciate the invitation, guys. This has been a blast.
Hey, John. Send me an email at carnivorebackwoods@gmail.com, and I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link to my step challenge.
Okay, cool.
I can have 10 people, and it's an app you can download on your phone, whether it's Apple or Samsung. And you can go in there, and we'll have a step challenge for up to 10 people. But I'm going to open it up for anybody that wants to do step counts. For the month of October. We'll post them up on social media. And we'll have conversations about it all month long, talking about how many steps people are getting in. So I'm going to do a whole thing on a October step challenge. And I've already started sending text messages out to select people to challenge them for, this to be in my 10 group. But, anybody that wants to post their numbers, we'll definitely do it, either on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram or whatever.
It's carnivorebackwood@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. I'll do that. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
John in North Carolina have a channel.
Yes, and I'm about to post it right now for us.
I posted it up there towards the top, I think.
Yep, here it is again. The champion with. Did I misspell it? I misspelled it. I missed the H, didn't I? It's within, right?
Yeah,
within. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I put a video out today. It kind of goes what some of the stuff Larry was talking about. It's only 6.5 or 7 minutes long, but it really I spent most of my adult life working in healthcare. I was a paramedic for 20 years. So I've kind of seen this from both sides. I've taken care of a lot of type 1 diabetics and dialysis patients. So I put a video up today kind of talking about the poison that's in all of our food. So if you guys get a chance, check that out. And I appreciate it.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, John. I look forward to talking with you on Monday.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll see you then.
Yeah, take care.
All right.
Yeah, have a good night.
All right. So there is his channel. Where are we at here? Okay, so we're at halftime of the game. It's 27-3, right? Lions are winning, so I'm feeling pretty good about possibly a victory here, huh? Maybe.
I think it's looking good for you, for sure.
Yeah, it's at Green Bay, so I get nervous still.
I kind of wish I could see most of the plays, but I think it looks like Detroit's kind of taking it to them just from the little bit that I have seen. So
it
thought
looked like
be
they
a
were
lot
moving the ball
closer.
well. Yeah. All right. So, John, you don't really watch football, do you?
Not really anymore.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of the Oregon Ducks when I lived out on the West Coast. I watched some of Tennessee's games here, but I just really don't follow football anymore. There's been too much politics, and the game's not what it used to be. When I was a kid watching football, they played football. Nowadays, I'm just not entertained by it anymore.
So the game's not what it used to be. Our food's not what it used to be.
Nothing's what it used to be. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You know, up is down, left is right. Nothing's what it's supposed to be anymore.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Oh man, let me tell you. All right, for everybody out there, go ahead and ask any questions you've got. Put a Q in front so that we know that there's a question. So ask any questions you got. Don't forget, whichever channel you're on, like the channel, share it on social media, share it with your friends, and so forth. Here we go. DC learning to live. True dat, fellas. Talking about the and everything's not like it used to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a question I'll throw out. So Charlotte's probably still in on the live. What would be your guys' top suggestions to somebody who's just starting carnivore, trying to figure it out, trying to get on the diet, trying to cut the garbage that they've been eating, trying to figure out how to do this on a budget and work. So what would be your top, suggestions for starting the carnivore diet?
Greg, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. I think it all depends on where they're starting. If they have not been dieting at all, I would actually recommend that they do a keto low carb diet first and work their way towards carnivore. I think it'll help them understand food a lot more and get a real feel for what's going on. I know that helped me a lot. It made it pretty easy to step into carnivore as well. I mean, I've not had any keto flu or any side effects really whatsoever going from keto to carnivore. So I think it's just one of those things. I think you get a good education by starting with keto, low carb, and work your way towards carnivore. Now, if you're going to go cold turkey, basically from a standard American diet to carnivore, I think you need to keep it basic as you can, but at the same time, don't be afraid to add, some chicken, some pork, make sure you fatten it up a little bit. You can eat that to get a little bit of variety because, the carnivore diet isn't for everyone. If they can't handle eating red meat all the time, they're going to struggle. So I think it's okay to mix it up a little bit at first. Just make sure you're getting your fat content, whether it be bacon, like I said, add some butter to your chops and your chicken to fatten it up a little bit, do cooking some bacon grease, that type of thing. But I think keep it basic and just, I encourage you to get through the first couple weeks because it could be a little rough for some people. I know with the keto flu, you tend to run to the bathroom a little bit more. But I think once you get through that initial 2-week period, I think it gets better and will get easier for you and your body will adjust.
Yeah. One thing I would say to so I like that idea of the whole going keto first, because I like the idea of easing into it over several weeks, good 4 to 6 weeks, right? So maybe go keto at first here over the first few weeks and then transition into carnivore. So basically over 4 to 6 weeks. One thing I would say is if you're looking for more cheaper options, ground beef is a great option. You can get it like Costco right now. I think it's $3.99 a pound. And you can get, 77.23 or 75.25. So it's a pretty good fat ratio. You can even add a little butter to that and so forth. So ground beef's a really good option if you can do ground beef. Ground beef, eggs, really good options that are really cheap. All right, we have another guest I'm going to bring in here. This is Homesick Buckeye. Russ, how you doing?
What's happening?
What's up, Russ?
What's happening?
Hey, Russ.
What's going on, everybody? Man, I want to thank you guys so much for lowering your standards and letting me on here, man. I understand that I understand, man. Listen, I couldn't get the only thing I could get was the weight requirement, the IQ, the credit score, the net worth, all that, man. I couldn't measure up. But I thank you for making an exception and letting me on in here, brother. I'm happy to be here. What's going on, everybody?
All right. So, Russ, I have a quick question for you because I know we can tell from looking at your background, you're a big Ohio State Buckeyes fan. So that game last weekend, Ohio
Yeah.
State at Notre Dame. What were you thinking, first of all? What were you thinking on the 4th and inches when they ran a sweep?
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
first question.
here's the thing about me. I'm Buckeye born, Buckeye bred, and when I die, I'll be Buckeye dead. Okay, so I'm a Buckeye in my soul. There's no doubt about that. But I'm not a rabid fan. As a matter of fact, I get in trouble with the Buckeye faithful a lot of times because I'm very realistic about our team, year to year. And of course I love them and I root for them. But there's a lot of times, especially in these last couple years, where when the games come on, I'm like, I hope we win, but I don't know how we're going to win. And that's how I felt going into the Notre Dame game because our defense is good, our offense is terrible. And you got to know that if you got both eyes open when you're watching the game. So I just didn't know what to expect. I was just hoping for the best. We were a 3-point favorite on the road at Notre Dame. I don't know how they came up with that. But we pulled it out in the end. It's one of those things. There's no wrong call, I think, in that situation. There's just no wrong call. It's the last play of the game. You could try to throw a jump ball to Harrison or something like that, or you could try to smash it in, run it in. Either call would have been totally and completely, in my opinion, a good call. There's sometimes you have bad calls and then you have wrong calls. It's like there's no bad call in that situation, I think. But I was just rooting for them, hoping they could make it happen, and fortunately they did. Because the two teams I hate the most are the Wolverats and Notre Dame. Though I'm telling you, I root against them 100% of the time. The Wolverats for obvious reasons, and Notre Dame because I think they're the most overhyped team in all of sports. All of sports. I'm talking field hockey, lacrosse, badminton, all of sports. I think they're the most overhyped, overrated team. Get in a conference, you know. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that before I have a bunch of crazy golden domers,
Yeah. All right. So the last time I talked to you, you were doing keto. Is that still the case? How's your diet going?
Yeah, listen, for those that know me, yeah, the diet's going great to answer your question. Everything is good. I'm a carb number guy. I go by the number, the descriptions and the categories. I don't even know what they are. I mean, you got Saladino eating fruit and honey, calling himself a carnivore. He eats more carbs than I do. So, I don't know what the rule is. Maybe we can have that discussion one day. How many carbs can you eat in a week and still call yourself a carnivore? Okay. I don't know what that number is. But I'm a little tighter than keto. My number bounces between 10 and 15 a day. So I'd say that would be a dirty carnivore or firmly in the ketovore camp. But yeah, hey Becky, what's going on? Becky's like she knows. Shout out to Becky. I love her, man. She does wonders from her car. She lives in her car, everybody. But she's fantastic. Yeah, so everything is going great. I just came back from vacation, had a little bit of Carbogeddon there. And Labor Day weekend was a little bit as well. So September's been a tricky month, but since I got back off of vacation on Saturday, just right on track. Everything's good, and I'm doing great.
Good. All right. Just a
Okay.
quick update here. We're in the third quarter now. It's still 27-3. So I think we
Yeah, this
lost
is a bit of a
Greg.
laugher. This is a bit of a laugher here. Yeah, this isn't too much of a game there. It's just
Okay, Greg will be back in a minute. So okay, good. I thought we lost him there for a minute. Yep.
yeah.
All right. So John, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've got coming up? I know you've been really busy on your channel. Last night, you and I had a live stream together, and tonight you're on this live stream with us. What do you got coming up? You got a lot going on, right?
Yeah, I got quite a bit going on. One, I'm excited. I got sponsored or affiliated with Carnivore Crisp. And so that's something new that I'm working out the details on. They're gonna, I got if you want a 10% discount for Carnivore Crisp, just put in Backwoods. It's easy to remember. Backwoods, get your Carnivore Crisp and get 10% off. So that's my plug. There it is. Thanks. Let's see. So Sunday, I have my weekly carnivore roundtable. Gonna have 4 or 5, carnivore YouTube creators get together and we discuss carnivore, 1 or 2 topics, take answers, or take questions from the chat and give the best answers we can, or at least we just try to direct them in a good direction if we can't answer them ourselves. And so I do that every week, and that becomes not only a live on YouTube. I then download it and turn it into a podcast that goes out on all your favorite podcasts, so it can be listened to on your way to work and whatever. If you don't want to look at our ugly faces, you can just listen to our voices. Then I have an interview with Mike Shaw TV Sunday night. We're gonna interview him for it. That'll actually probably also become a podcast I'm doing called Carnivore Life. And then let's see what else I got going on. So the following Sunday, I got my Carnivore Roundtable again, and then that night I'm going to be interviewing with Becky, because I'm not going to try to say her keto vor Oregon name. Yeah. So she'll be on my channel that night, and then we'll be doing that one. And then the following weekend, I have, of course, the roundtable again, but that night I'm doing an interview with Kip from Carnivore Kip. So I got those lined out. I'm working details out to do some other interviews and have some other people involved in the channel. But then, there's emails going back and forth. I'm talking to one of the doctors, and I got to get with his assistant to get that all, scheduled up so that I can get him on the channel. So, lots of good things. Just, plugging along, building the channel. Hit 700 subscribers today. So that I put that up, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm happy for all the people that support my channel and support me. Sold a few t-shirts, got some new designs up. I put up a new design today. Just trying to build the channel and pay for it along the way. I mean, the problem with this is the more you do, the more it costs you out of pocket. So I'm trying to find ways to help support the channel. So like Carnivore Crisp is a good way to help support my channel.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's the hardest working man on YouTube right there. I love that. Love it. Go get him, buddy.
So Russ, I know you're busy too, right? Your Tuesdays with the keto cookout are always, that's a big event, right? So you're busy with
grilling,
that,
baby.
Yeah.
What else?
Hey,
outside of that, what else you got going on?
I'm not busy at all compared to John. I I got no Carnivore Crisp. I got nothing. I have to get the Reverend fired up there. See if I can get the Reverend on my channel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a jerk. He's hard to deal with. To be a Reverend, I tell you, that guy's a real jerk to be a Reverend.
Or Anthony Chafee and losing his shirt all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's why I'm not paying my ketogenic tithes, Rev. That's why I'm not paying my tithes. You're nasty to people. No, I mean, I have the keto cookout, of course, on Tuesdays, and then I do my my walk and talks. I do my keto conversations every Friday. I do a keto conversation. I've got a real clown show of a keto conversation coming up here this Friday. But you want to talk about a clown? I'm talking to all 3 rings of the circus. No, I'm just teasing. I got Greg is in my keto conversations this week, so I was really not kidding, but that's what I got coming there. And then I just do my walk and talks and I do my life updates. And for some reason, people want to watch me cook on the internet. I think it's just to make fun of me. I really do. It's a bunch of people with low self-esteem who watch me and feel really good about themselves. I guarantee you that's what it is, because that's the only people that could possibly want to watch me make something to eat are the people with the lowest. They got the self-esteem of a fruit fly. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. So people love it. They want to see it. And I am a man of the people. So, I give the people what they want, man. So I got a few new toys. I'm going to talk about that coming up. I got an indoor grill, and I got a pressure cooker, and I got a new air fryer. And I will be misusing those things to the delight of the people.
I just picked up an ice cream maker, and I put that thing in the freezer for 2 days because my plan for tonight was I was going to be on here when I came on live. I was going to be sitting here eating carnivore ice cream, but the damn thing wasn't cold enough, so I didn't set up.
Yeah, do what I do. Just get you some real ice cream.
Well, I got it in the freezer now. Hopefully, it'll freeze up. But yeah, I guess it. On the top, it just wasn't get enough cold enough in that freezer. So yeah, I had this plan. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be sitting here eating carnivore ice cream when I come live on this tonight, and it didn't happen. But my wife was laughing at me.
So I remember yesterday you were talking about that with the carnivore ice cream, and I was telling you that I had recently tried it too. So I'm curious to see when you come. Are you going to do like a review of it and everything on your channel?
Yes.
All right. I'm curious to see what your review is like. I got my review edited up, and I'm getting ready to load it. I'm knocking my microphone over again. I'm getting ready to load it up on my channel, so I'll have my review out there too. And I want to see how the differences are between yours and mine, and just interesting to see. So
yeah, absolutely.
Dr. Kilt's ice cream? Is that the Dr.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one that I use. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I've never, that's not my thing, man. I've never had. When I went to this keto summit in Orlando, they gave us basically what was a keto trick or treat bag, and it was just loaded with keto candy and stuff. I smashed it all the first night, and it was pretty good. I mean, some of the stuff was disgusting, but it was pretty good. It's candy. I mean, but that's the only time I've never bought any keto treats, snacks, candy, all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not into it. I think it's awesome. I'm not against it or anything. I don't have any problem with it. It's just not for me.
I like a good ice cream, but obviously I'm not eating any sugar whatsoever. So you do this recipe, you're not adding sugar. You're adding cream, eggs, maybe a little bit of vanilla, and then you're putting it in the ice cream machine. And it's supposed to turn to ice cream if it's cold enough. But it tastes good. I mean, I tasted it, in the liquid form, and it's not sweet by no means, but it's got enough sweetness from the cream that it makes it, tasty enough.
Yeah. And Dr. Kilt's on his website, he has a few different variations of the recipe, and he does have one that's considered a low carb that does have some pure cane sugar in it. So there is one option. Yeah, it's not a lot, but there is one option if you want to go that way. I didn't do it with the sugar. The one I did the eggs. Well, I actually did one whole egg because he has an option of either one whole egg or like 5 egg yolks. So I did the one whole egg and the heavy cream, and then the vanilla. I'm trying to think, was there a fourth? Oh, salt. And then I put some salt on it. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if you did the exact same recipe. It sounds like you didn't use the salt, so maybe yours is a little bit different than mine. So it'll be interesting to see the differences in what you think and the taste compared to what I thought and so forth.
I did the yolks, and I added a couple more to it because he called for 4, and I added 6 total. I added salt to it, but just a pinch.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's more of a custard.
Let's say like add some of the keto chow or something to it, maybe to flavor it up. I mean, if you like that. I don't use keto chow. I do use. I got a review coming of the health code shakes that Dr. Bickman makes. People that follow Ben Bickman. I do drink that about once a week. Just kind of as a supplement. It tastes good. It makes it good. I don't make it like they tell you to make it. I won't spoil my video, but I got a video coming out. I kind of make it my own way. Because they say it's a meal replacement. Yeah, I don't know what kind of anorexic mosquitoes they got feeding this thing, but it ain't a meal replacement for a grown ass man. I can tell you that. It ain't. Hey, I'll tell you right now.
So it's probably like what, 20 grams of protein or something, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a very high fat, high protein, low carb. It tastes good. It mixes well. But like I said, I won't spoil my video, but it'll be coming out probably next week. And I said it just like that on my video. I'm like, yeah. I don't know. Maybe they don't. I don't know which part of the English language they don't understand, meal or replacement. I'm not sure which word they didn't understand the definition of, but yeah. All it did was make me
mad. You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means.
Yeah. All it did is make me mad for when I made it the way they said to make it. It just made me angry. So I do it my way. Like everything else in life, I can't follow instructions. I got to do it my way. But I like the product a lot. It is a good product. I advocate it. I tried to get set up to be an affiliate with them, and they turned me down. I can't blame them for that. They probably saw my channel. But I'm actually working. I'm setting it up through Amazon. I can be an affiliate and do it that way, which I finally getting around to that. Adam's got me doing that. Adam is like he's the guy that gets figures all this kind of stuff out for me.
Yeah.
Green Bay scored and got the 2-point conversion.
So, Greg, this is exactly what I was talking about at halftime, right? You never know what's going to happen, and it's at Green Bay, so this is what I was worried about, right? We're sitting here. Every time I look over at the screen, there's a injured Lions player getting helped off the field. Green Bay just scored a touchdown, got a 2-point conversion, so it's down to 16-point game. So basically a 2-score game. 8 minutes still to go in the third quarter. Detroit really needs to score here.
My money's on Detroit.
Great. And Branch, who is one of their better defenders, they're showing now in the cart going into the locker room. That's.
Hey, listen, I'm a Bengals fan, so I know how to identify a team that likes to lose. Now Detroit has got, you talk about born to lose.
It's been a rough year for the Bengals so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, my team is again, this is at the risk of having people storming the castle. I mean, Burrow is hurt. And I don't know the answer to this question. I guess you got to trust the coaches. But do we want our starting quarterback at 75% or our backup at 100%? I don't know. But, I mean, the guy can't move. You can see he's having problems. He's laboring out there to me. And it's just like, man, I don't know if he's helping the team or hurting the team out there. I mean, his throws are all over the place. He missed all of camp. I mean, I just don't know what to think. I mean, I'm a Bengals fan. Oh, is Becky a Bengals fan? She might be my soulmate after all. I may have to come up with something different than Keto Kitty or Low Carb Lady. To come up with something higher, I got to go with another level. She's a Bengals fan. But it's I don't know. We got to win the other day. Our defense, the Buckeyes and the Bengals are the same team. I mean, they're really the same team. Our defenses are good enough to win. Our offenses are not very good. and just hope they get better. Oh, during the Boomer Esiason. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were some good years too. Back in those years, the Sam Weiss years. But yeah, I'm still a fan. I'm not a rabid fan. I watch all the games and I follow the team, but I'm realistic. I'm not I just call it like I see it, and we're just not very good offensively. But hopefully, we'll get better. I mean, you don't have to get hot in September. You got to get hot in January. So, yeah, all them cheating ass Steelers. Yeah, we don't like the Steelers.
So see, Greg, this is what I'm talking about. It's already 4th down, and the Lions got to punt it.
I see
We got
that.
to go. We got to go away from talking about football. Let's get back on track here. Food. All right.
Hey guys, I'm gonna call it a night. I got to get up early in the morning, got work. But it was good sitting here talking with you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, John.
See you, man.
Yeah, yep. Come see me Sunday at the live chat. We're gonna have then Sunday at 1:00 in the afternoon Eastern.
Awesome.
Yep. I'll be there.
You will be. All right, but catch you guys then. See you later.
See ya.
I wonder if he was going to get that one because I'm actually supposed to be on that panel. So, all right.
Hey, Russ, I was going to ask you. Yeah, I know you got isn't there some kind of keto conference coming up that you're doing?
Yeah, I'll be in Louisville at Keto Palooza. That is, I think, October the 6th through the 8th or something like that. 5th through the 8th. I'm not sure, but it's the first week of October. Yep, nice. It'll be Dr. Barry will be there, Hampton, Two Crazy Ketos, Maria Emmerich, I think. I can't remember who all is going to be there, but yeah, there'll be a bunch of cool people there. There'll be a bunch of cool people there, and Dr. Hampton will be there too.
Nice.
So shout out to Doc Hampton. That's my man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's always good to be around the keto family and all that. Yeah. It's really a cool vibe. It's a cool scene, and it's always great.
I wish I was closer to some of that stuff. Being in the Midwest, it just just hasn't been anything I know, but doesn't mean there won't be something down the road.
There's a clubhouse group called Keto for the Soul, and they're actually the leader of that, Judy. Her last name. I just lost her last name. She's gonna kill me. But she's in Iowa actually. I don't know if you've ever been on Clubhouse.
I don't think no.
It's an app. It's a social media app. It's just audio only, and if you join the group, you can come in and just talk. There's no video. And so I met them. It's a pretty nice little group. I met them at the Keto Summit, and Judy was one of the sponsors, one of the hosts. And they have what they call Friendsgiving, and it's sometime, and they're having it in Iowa this year. And that, so yeah, there's some Iowa folks there. Of course, Carrie's in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But it's Keto for the Soul, Keto number 4 the Soul. I think they have a Facebook group as well.
Write that down.
Yeah, they're all over the place. They're keto to carnivore. It's a big tent kind of thing. So they're anybody that's keto, and so there's you got an Iowa there. I'm not sure what part of Iowa she's in. I don't know, but very sweet lady, and I like that group, the Clubhouse group, the Keto for the Soul group. Cool people.
Cool. Did you just see that play, Greg?
Yeah, I think I caught the tail end of it.
That was a fumble, right? It was passed backwards, right?
Let's look.
Or did they call it incomplete? That's backwards.
Oh, that should be a fumble.
Yeah. Of course, it went out of bounds, but I think they did call it a fumble. I don't know. Yeah, 2nd and 21. Okay, good.
Shout out to Cindy. Cindy will be at Keto Palooza. That is wonderful. I will be there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you see me, you better hug me. Don't if you you don't hug me, I will ban you from my channel. I will talk about you.
Heck, if I was there, I'd come up and give you a big hug.
Absolutely, man. I need all the love. I need all the love I can get. I need to feel that low carb love. Don't be fist bumping me, hug me like I'm your family. That's right. Yes, sir.
So Russ, what did you eat today? How'd your day go?
Today was a carnivore day, actually. Bacon and eggs. Wait a minute. Yeah, there was bacon. Because I'm back reunited with bacon. We broke up for a little while, but we're reunited again. And yeah, bacon and eggs and coffee. That's kind of my routine. Something and eggs and coffee. In the mornings, bacon, ham, whatever, steak sometimes, lamb, whatever. And then tonight, I christened my new pressure cooker. I pressure cooked a brisket, and it was fantastic. And I had some low carb barbecue sauce. I'm gonna do, I think, a review on some of those. I don't know if you guys have ever used any of the sugar-free barbecue sauces or the low carb barbecue sauces, but
Yep.
yeah.
G Hughes makes some good ones, I know.
Yep.
Yep.
What I actually do, Stubbs, if you get the right version, is only like 7 carbs a serving. Sweet Baby Ray's has a no sugar added one that's like 4 carbs a serving, and then the other ones are like 2 carbs a serving. What I do is I will mix a little bit of the higher carb ones with the lower carb ones to get a little bit of a better flavor. So I'll go, 2 parts of the one and 1 part of the other. And it gets to be about 10 or 11 carbs, 10 or 12 carbs.
Yeah.
But it's a much better experience to me. Not that those are bad, but I think they're better with a little bit, just a dab of the other. So yeah, I smashed I don't know how much brisket I ate, but I ate quite a bit.
How long did that brisket take to do in that pressure?
1 hour.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good. Now, I will say this because I'm not, again, if you watch my channel, I'm not a cook. I'm not a good cook, a bad cook. I'm not any kind of cook. I'm not a cook at all. I didn't do it like other people, like a lot of people will. I don't care about the color and the presentation and all that. I don't care. I mean, I didn't sear it and all that, and it came out looking kind of like a sous vide or whatever. It's like real light, like a gray. But it was very tender, very juicy. I would probably go a little bit longer. I did it for an hour. I don't even know how big it was. I would say it was probably about 3 or 4 pounds. It wasn't like really big. I got an 8-pound brisket and I divided it up into a couple of sections. I made one probably a month ago, and then I slow cooked that one in a crock pot for like 5 hours or 6 hours. And it was pretty good too. And then the other half I just put in the freezer, and I thawed it out and put it in. I didn't really season it very much because I'm going to put it in barbecue sauce anyway. And I'm not that picky, but it was good. It was good, and I was very happy with it. But I'm going to try it the next time. I'm going to put it in maybe for an hour and 15 minutes. I let the steam naturally dissipate for just about 10 minutes. I could have maybe done that a little bit longer, and I didn't put hardly any water in there. Hardly any water, not even a cup of water. So there's things, again, I don't know what I'm doing. There's probably somebody out there saying, yo, what a dummy you are, or whatever. Guilty as charged. I don't claim to be, like I said, a kind of cook, but I was very happy with it. And so I'm excited. That's why I got it. I'm going to talk about that in my video. Is because I can't stand, my oxtails and my leg of lambs and different things 4 or 6 hours. I'm not doing all that. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, Adam is sous vide things for 2 days. It's like, what? I mean, that's crazy to me. Oh, it's 36 hours. What? Anything for 36 hours? It's like, what? It's like, I got dinner on. We're going to eat next Thursday. What? I'm like,
You sounded exactly like him when you said that too. 36 hours.
yeah, that's my man. But I'm just like, yeah, that's not for me. So and I got the indoor grill because my air fryer, I can't, it's disgusting. I can't keep it clean. I mean, it just gets so dirty and stays so dirty. And I just, so I got the indoor grill because it looks like it's got a couple of parts. You can disassemble it. Looks like it's a lot easier to clean. So I'm gonna, do some indoor. I'm gonna try some indoor grilling, steaks, burgers, things like that, and not air fry so much. And then I'm gonna do more pressure cooking, same kind of thing. It just doesn't make as much of a mess, easier to clean up. And then my air fryer, which I do love, but I use it for a lot of things other than I use it to bake. I use it to reheat things. I use it for a lot of different purposes. And maybe air fry things that aren't so greasy or just don't have so much grease.
What type of air fryer is it? Is it the bucket kind or the other?
No, I have a Ninja Foodie. It's an oven style. It's got an air fryer, conventional oven. You can bake on it. You can, you can do everything with it. And I love it. It is a great, it's great at everything. I love it, love it, love it. And I bought another one just like it, except this one has a temperature probe. The old one I got a couple years ago does not have a temperature probe. This one has a built-in temperature probe, so you can. But I also bought a couple of Wi-Fi probes, or Bluetooth probes. Actually, I guess they would be. So I don't really need the probe on the air fryer, but I have it. So I can, it's a pretty cool thing. It's USB rechargeable. So, and the probes, there's 2 probes. So you can cook 2 different things at the same time or whatever if you want to, and it monitors the overall temperature in the oven. It also monitors the internal temperature of the meat all at the same time.
Is that a Temp Spike? Is it Temp Spike brand?
I don't remember the brand, but it'll be out on a video here in the next week or 2.
Yeah, I got one of those. It works great for. I use it on a lot of my charcoal grill when I'm smoking pork, or whether I'm doing ribs or pulled pork.
Yeah.
But it works pretty good.
There's lots of different brands. I'm sure they all work about the
Yeah.
same, but I can't remember what brand it was. It has an app for the phone if you want that, or it has just the piece that you can just use that, the base or whatever. You can use whichever one you want. So I think that'll help me, a little bit as well. But yeah, so I'm gonna, like I said, just try something a little different, and I'll see how that works. It's just me.
We'll be adding the chef title to your homesick Buckeye chef here pretty quick.
You I didn't hear what he said. You were in the Matrix there. I didn't hear what you said.
I was gonna say we're gonna be adding chef to your title there, homesick Buckeye chef.
No, not compared to some of those folks. But I tell them all the time, go find ketogenic woman, go find Maria Emmerich, find somebody that really can cook. Man, I keep myself alive. That's about all I do. I'm one step above a caveman. I got meat and heat. I just got electricity. That's all. I got an air fryer. He had just a fire. That's really the only difference between us. So, but people love it, man.
I got to be honest. I've not used my air fryer since probably February. I do so much cooking on my griddle. I have a Blackstone griddle, and I'm out there about every day cooking on that thing.
Well, the weather's good right now. You wait about another 6 weeks. You ain't gonna be out there fooling with that griddle.
Oh, I'll probably use my air fryer then and experiment. But geez, I almost need to learn because I just have not used it. And when I did use it before, it was for fries.
No, I get it, man. I love the air fryer. Changed my life, man. I'm telling you, it made the food. I actually can make stuff that I wasn't embarrassed to serve to somebody. when I got my air fryer. Finally, I'm like, yeah, if somebody came over, I wouldn't be ashamed to say, hey, I made this, so, you know,
Yeah.
but I'm still, I just don't like, I know, listen, there's a lot of people out there that love to cook and they love it. I don't know how to describe it. It's a chore. It's like cleaning my toilet. So it's just something I do because I have to do it. I need to do it. I have no joy in it. I don't look forward to doing it. Um, the only reason I even go in the kitchen is because the food is in there. That's it. So I just, but the new stuff living this life makes it a little easier. Because you don't have a ton of variety in that. And then, like I said, the new toys that I've gotten have made it a little more bearable as well. Because you can set the timers, you can do different, you can just, it makes it simpler and easier in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So I have one of the bucket air fryers, and that's why I asked you what kind you have, because I have such a hard time getting that thing clean. That
Oh,
one's
sure.
it's
I
so
know, man.
annoying.
Yeah. And my pressure cooker, I didn't tell the whole story. My pressure cooker it's also a Ninja Smart Lid. So it's actually a slow cooker, pressure cooker, air fryer, oven. I mean, it's got a million features as well. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to be easier to clean than my oven style air fryer if I do want to air fry something, because um, the whole bottom and stuff comes out first of all, as opposed to the oven style where nothing comes out. So you have to go in there to get it all. So, when I air fry something, I can take the bucket out, take that stuff out because it sits in a bucket in a pan down inside the unit. And then the top, which is really where the worst of it is, it's just a small area and it's much easier to get to than trying to reach into the back, deep into the back of that air fryer. And I bought an electric brush. I bought like electric scrubber, a battery operated scrubber. So, and you can just reach up in there and it does all the scrubbing and stuff. So, I'm trying here. So, but I don't plan to do a lot of air frying. I really don't. I bought the indoor grill, and that's what I plan on doing. Because the only thing I really air fried was steaks and burgers. I didn't really air fry much of anything else.
Yeah.
Maybe I mean, I was air frying salmon for a while, but I stopped doing that and just started baking it more because it came out better baked than air fried for me anyway. And so I was still using my air fryer, but I was baking in it, not that. And I used to reheat a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff doesn't microwave so well, like salmon, like some other things. If you want to eat it the next day, it's much better to put it in and reheat it than it is to try to microwave it. So I mean, I get a lot of use out of my air fryer, but not really as an air fryer. And so I think, like I said, my indoor grill, I can do my steaks and burgers on that. It breaks all down, should be real easy to clean. And I don't think it'll be too much different in terms of flavor in that. I don't think so. And then I can always fry them in my pressure cooker air fryer. I could try that. And like I said, I think it'll be easy to clean. It also has a setting called Steam Crisp, which I'm kind of interested to try, because you can kind of cook it with steam from the bottom, and then it also has like a burner at the top, so you can do both. And another thing I'm going to try is I'm going to try like maybe pressure cooking it for a little bit, and then crisping it up, maybe throwing some oil on it and sticking it in the broiler or maybe the air fryer or whatever for a few minutes just to get it to sear. I'm curious to try that. So I'll be doing all kind of stuff.
I think you're gonna have fun with all those new toys.
Well,
learning how to cook with them.
I definitely won't have fun. That is out. There's zero chance of that. What I'm hoping for is less cleaning time and easier cleaning, because I think I hate that worse than cooking. I don't know. It's neck and neck. I don't know which is worse, cooking or cleaning up all the stuff. So that's really what I'm trying to do. I can't find any way to minimize my cooking time. I gotta, the stuff that you gotta cook. Although I'm working on it with the pressure cooking, that's going to reduce a lot of time. But the cleanup is just, I'm hoping it'll get easier with the new stuff. We'll see. Either way, you'll find out. You'll know. I tell it all.
All right. So a football update. I think it's the end of the third quarter. It's still 27-11, but Green Bay has a 1st and goal. So yeah, that second half collapse is happening that I was worried about.
What's that guy
I
got
just hope
hurt?
they
That
can
was
hold
it.
on. Well, multiple guys got hurt though on defense on that last drive. Like 2 or 3 different times, people were getting like helped off the field. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm hoping they can at least hold on and win this game. I don't know. And now they got a commercial with Patrick Mahomes in it, so I don't know what's going on here.
Subway.
Oh, geez. I don't even want to go there with Subway. You used to think that was healthy, right?
Oh, yeah. Didn't we all?
Yeah.
Wheat. You gotta get the wheat. I always get the wheat because the wheat is good for you.
Right. It was better for you than the white bread, right? The wheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're just starting the fourth quarter and it's 1st and goal. Ugh.
Well, we'll see if Detroit's for real or not, if they can hold them off.
I'm afraid of that answer, but let's see what happens here. So,
Yeah, I don't know if you caught it, Russ, but Brian's favorite team is Detroit. So
yeah, he's up there close to the state that starts with M. I can't think of the name of it. But
looks like we got a question from a
the
Facebook
one up
user.
north, huh?
yeah, something.
Yeah. What's that?
There's a question from a Facebook
Oh,
user.
here we go. Oh yeah, let me bring that up. What are you guys doing to resolve slow weight loss? Any tips? Greg, you want to take that one because I know you've done a pretty good job with your weight loss.
I would say, reevaluate what you're doing and make sure that you aren't sneaking things in there that are harming your weight loss or slowing it down. So kind of evaluate what you're eating. If you're tracking your food, that's one way to find that. That's one thing. The other thing is do something a little different. In my case, a lot of times I started low carb, then I kind of did ketovore. And for a while there, like this summer, I jumped to carnivore for a week and a half, where sometimes I'd alternate one day of keto, one day of carnivore, and just kind of mix it up a little bit to see if your body responds and kicks you out of that. The other thing is it depends too on what you're drinking. Sometimes maybe cut out something if maybe you're doing a diet pop or you're doing some kind of seltzer water, change it up to something else like regular water, or eliminate that for a couple days, see if you can get the scale to move. Sometimes it just takes your body time to adjust. I know, I've lost over 95 pounds now in 8 months. It's a little over 8 months. And, there was a month there where my weight didn't really go anywhere. And I think my body was just adjusting. And sometimes it takes time. I know I've learned that my body tends to drop in chunks. I'll have a week where I'm not really doing much. Then all of a sudden, boom, I'm down 5 pounds. So it's kind of one of those things. Just keep working the plan. Don't give up. Adjust the plan. And good things will happen for you. Just never quit. You just got to keep plugging away and make some adjustments, and hopefully you'll get through that.
Russ, you got any tips?
Yeah, I'm the wrong guy to ask this question. I think Greg did a great job because my advice is stop worrying about it. You can't control when you lose weight, where you lose weight, how you lose weight. I don't care. I'm perfectly happy to lose the weight the same way I gained it. I didn't gain it in a year, so I don't expect to lose it in a year. And that's just me. That's just my thing. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to lose it as fast as they can or whatever. I'm not one of those people. The only reason I weigh myself is because I have a channel and people just beat me to death about it. I weigh myself once a month and I tell the folks what it is, but I could care less. If you're looking at this, again, I'd have to know maybe a little bit more. If you're just doing this for weight loss, like I said, I think Greg said it best. I'm not doing this for weight loss. I'm doing this for overall health and wellness, and it's a life change. I've changed my life, what I eat, what I do, how I live, where I go, all that kind of stuff is changed for me. So my only goal is just to keep it between the lines. And, I have a 90-10 philosophy. 90% of the time, I'm on the straight and narrow. The other 10% of the time, I'm all over the road. And, because the 10% count can't overrule the 90. You can't ruin, what you've done 330 days a year with 30 days of, of something else. So that's my advice is don't worry about it. You can't control it. So why worry about it? Just make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Keep your carbs low. Do your exercising. And it'll happen when it happens. The other thing too, again, I don't know how much weight you have to lose or whatever, but a lot of people are surprised what your body knows what your weight is supposed to be. So you might think, oh, because you're looking at some chart, oh, I need to be 150 pounds, where your body might be saying, no, you don't. You need to be 162.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to beat yourself up to lose that last 12 pounds when your body is telling you, no, I don't care what that doctor or that chart says. This is your comfortable weight. This is where we like to be. And we're not really going much lower than that unless you really put us under stress.
Yeah. So there's some really good comments there from both of you. I'm going to go with, some of what my experiences have been. And again, so for me, when we talk about weight loss, what we're really talking about is the fat that we got in our bodies that we want to get rid of, right? So I'm going to assume here that this person, Facebook user here, has a good amount of fat that they want to lose still on their body. What I have seen, what's worked for me is getting back to basics of being a little bit more strict. So looking at things that I may have started eating that wasn't working well for me, like cheese and so forth. Now I see they did post again here, and they said no cheese, gave up milk, have a tablespoon of cream and coffee. Potentially that could be contributing a little. I will say that, the cream and the coffee. But otherwise, it's really hard to say. It sometimes when you're going and you're losing weight, sometimes you don't see the scale change, and you might still be losing some body fat. Or it's just what's happening for that little period. And if it's just, like a week or 2 weeks or something, that's probably fine. And then you'll start seeing the weight loss again. But for me, I've always found it seems to work better when I get stricter if I'm having weight loss challenges. So, like I'll sit there sometimes and be like, I really haven't lost anything for a month or two. So then I will go and get really strict. And then I start to see a couple pounds come off. So yeah, that cream could potentially be part of it. Also, like, what are you drinking? Are you just drinking water, or are you potentially drinking like sparkling waters or something that maybe has some sort of artificial sweetener in it? Because that could cause a problem too. And it doesn't always affect everybody, but some people seem to be affected more by it. I'm also, but one more thing I'll say is I'm the type of person, I'll be doing good. I'm doing carnivore. I'm not eating any carbs or anything, and I'm doing a really good job. And then I have one meal that I have a little bit of carb and I gain weight from, and it takes me a week or more to lose that weight back. So not everybody's that way, but that happens to me. So that's something to consider there too.
One thing I was going to add, make sure you're drinking enough water. Because sometimes I think we get a little complacent and don't drink enough water. And I find that when I'm drinking a lot of water, I'm losing weight. And I have to remind myself of that sometimes. It's like, Greg, did you drink enough water today? And sometimes I'll be like, no, I haven't. It's like, well, maybe that's why I'm not losing weight. You need that to flush things out of your body. And, make sure you take a look at that too.
Dehydrated people will not lose weight. That's for sure. Well, 123 kilograms is about 270 pounds. And I don't know how tall you are, but yeah, I'd be real happy if I was 200. I was 270 pounds when I was born. So, that's
I was going to say, I do see it says eats one meal a day, occasionally twice, and I never cheat. Well, maybe you need to eat a cheat meal, to be honest. I've done that many times where I was this is back more when I was doing keto. I would do more of a cheat meal, and lo and behold, I'd start dropping weight again, because it kind of like resets your metabolism a little bit, and I think that'll help you burn some of that. So I would not be afraid to try a cheat meal, especially if you've been stuck like you have for a month. Maybe, it's just a matter of how bad you cheat. It looks like you've been on carnivore. Maybe you should have like a taco salad, do something like that, and then see what happens. Like I said before, I would sometimes do a cheat meal. It really helped make me lose weight. So
how much was this person when they started?
Yeah. Yeah, and how much weight did they lose previously? Because that can affect it too, definitely.
So they said they're 123 kilos and they lost 1 kilo in a month. The one other thing here, though, drinking sparkling water and plain, I would suggest try cutting out the sparkling water and just going with regular plain water for a week and see what happens. That's another good option there.
Yeah. I see he started at 130. So
130 at start. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's the other thing too, I'll say is, when you first get on the program, when you first get on you lose a lot of water, and you lose a lot of water real quick. And so you see in the scale, and you see in these big things, oh, I lost 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever. And then when you're not losing water anymore, fat takes a lot longer to lose than water. So, you're not going to lose, 2 or 3 pounds, every week like you can when you're losing water. So, as I said, I would definitely check, your blood work, get your blood work checked, your fasting insulin, your A1C, your glucose, all that kind of stuff. And use that as a benchmark as well, for progress. Because if you I don't know if maybe you did, but if let's say you checked your blood work 90 days ago, and now you're 90 days in and you checked your blood work again, and you see your A1C is down, you see your glucose is down, you see your fasting insulin is down, you're going in the right direction. Maybe your weight isn't where you want it to be, but like I said, you can't control that. You can't control when you lose weight, where you lose weight, how you lose weight, what part of the body. You just can't control it. Your body will do that as it sees fit. And we also know that your body will start with your visceral fat and your organ fat first. So your liver, your kidneys, pancreas, those type of things, it'll metabolize that fat first. And then your subcutaneous fat. And another thing, of course, is how do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you have more energy? Are you noticing changes that way? Because you don't live on a scale. You don't live on a scale. You live your life out, in the world. So if you're doing things you couldn't do before and making those non-scale victories, that's way more important than the number on the scale. That in many cases is the last thing to cooperate.
Yeah, just don't get discouraged. Keep working the plan. And like I said, if you feel you need to do something, adjust the plan a little. Like I said, add a cheat meal, do something a little different. Maybe since you're carnivore, go keto one day or one meal, and then see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to eat a gallon of ice cream, but you can You know, it's funny. We were talking about that yesterday. Just like eating out at restaurants and things like that. You know, most places, if you go to Wendy's or McDonald's or whatever fast food of choice, you know, a hamburger or one of the sandwiches is less than 50 carbs, 90% of them. 40 carbs or so. The fries and the drink are what really hammer you. And the fries and the drink have twice the carbs. I mean, a large soda from McDonald's, if you order a large drink, it's it's between 75 and 90 carbs. The fries, if you get a large order of fries, that's 75 carbs. But like a double quarter pounder with cheese is only 40 or 42, I think. So it's crazy when you think about it that there's literally twice as many carbs in that soda as there are in you could eat 2 double quarter pounders with cheese and get the same carbs as just drinking the drink. It's crazy when you think about it.
That reminds me of Brian when he was talking about Dunkin' Donuts and that spiced latte or whatever it was. I mean, you could eat 12 glazed donuts for the same number of carbs as that drink. It was crazy.
The pumpkin spiced frozen coffee, 185 grams of sugar in it.
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy, dude. I mean, when we were talking about this the other day, my life is so different now. Even when I'm off the wagon, for lack of a better term, or I'm outside of my norm, it's nothing like it used to be. You know, I mean, because I just understand things now that I didn't understand a year ago. So it's like, yeah, I go to McDonald's and I'll have that double quarter pounder. It's 45 carbs. In the big picture, that's nothing. I mean, I would have drank 3 times that. You know, like I went to Olive Garden, you know, I mean, I normally would have drank 3 or 4 Sprites before they even brought the food out, you know, so you're talking about 200 carbs potentially before I even eat anything. I mean, that was my old life, you know. Now it's just different, you know. And I just could never, you know, I could never go back to my old life. I just know too much now.
I see Detroit scored a field goal.
Yeah. So I was watching a little bit. They showed replay in the last play of the third quarter. The clock hit 0 like a second before they snapped the ball, and they threw like a 40-yard pass to get down to like the Detroit 8-yard line where they had the 1st and goal. So that play shouldn't have counted, which is interesting. But they got the touchdown. Now Detroit had a field goal, but there apparently was a penalty, so now they got a 1st and goal instead.
Yeah, they took the points off the board.
So yeah, it looks like it's 2nd and goal now at the 3-yard line. Really, the field goal doesn't do a whole lot. 10 points, 13 points. The touchdown is the big thing. Make it that 3-score game here with 8 minutes to go.
Plus, yeah, they'll take a little more time off the clock too. So that's that's a big one.
Yeah.
Nice drive, 11 plays, 72 yards, and it's been 7-10. So
yeah, they've taken a lot of time off the clock.
It's looking good for Detroit right now.
I got a cousin that likes Detroit. He's in California now, but he's from Detroit. You know, I would love, as a long-suffering Bengals fan, I really would like to see Detroit do something. I would like to see them have a good team and make it to a Super Bowl or something. I sympathize with the loyal, long-suffering fan. I sympathize.
Man, I tell you, I'd like to see them go to the Super Bowl just once in my lifetime.
Yeah. I understand, man. Like I said, I'm a Bengals fan, so I know what it's like to just every year you just think, my goodness.
Hey, you guys were in the Super Bowl a few years ago, though, right?
Yeah, but for 40 years after the last time we were in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's like, I'm only 54.
Lions are working on 0 Super Bowl appearances so far.
That's exactly my point. That's why I'm saying
last time they won a world championship was before the Super Bowl when they were world championships.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is they came out afterwards that their quarterback was drunk all the time. He was playing drunk.
Yeah, you guys used up all your championships in hockey. You know, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
They were good for a long time.
The basketball team that was pretty good back in the day.
Oh yeah.
The Detroit Pistons. They were
known as the bad boys.
Yeah. There it is.
There we go. There's the touchdown. Lions got the touchdown. Okay.
Yep.
I feel better now.
6 minutes left is all too.
So who's the team to beat in your division? Is it Minnesota or is it you guys?
No, I'd say it's Detroit.
So at the beginning of the season, I would have said it was the Vikings, though.
Yeah, I don't follow. I only follow really my teams. I don't really follow. I just know Minnesota has been good the last couple of years.
They're stinking up the joint this year.
Yeah.
Who do they play this weekend? Do you know?
I don't even know.
I know the Bears aren't any good. The only reason I know that is because I'm kind of following Justin Fields a little bit. But so I know they're not very good, and I know that the Packers, lost Aaron Rodgers and are kind of doing some rebuilding.
But so going into this game, the Packers and the Lions were tied for first place in the division. Because, like Greg said, the Vikings are 0-3, and the Bears are the Bears. So
so
let's see. Vikings play.
I love it. And the NFC is, I think, they're the softer of the two, right? I mean, they're about most of the better teams in AFC.
Chiefs. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Philly's good.
Miami's really good this year. Buffalo's always pretty solid.
So the Vikings play the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. Because Thielen has to play against his old team.
But then next week they're at home, but they got to play the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's going to be a tough game. And then a couple weeks from now, they're playing the 49ers, but they had the Bears before that. So they have a couple of tough games there, the Chiefs and the 49ers.
It could very well be winless for a while. It would surprise me.
I can't see them losing to the Panthers or the Bears, to be honest.
Yeah, probably not. But the Panthers, you just never know, I guess. It depends on which Vikings team shows up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're the reigning division champions, though, so we'll see what happens here. 0-3 is an interesting start for them, but I don't know. I'm really surprised with the Packers that they've been as good as they have been without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I didn't think that. I thought they'd be, fighting with Chicago for the bottom, but and they may yet. You never know, but I doubt it. I think it'll be the Vikings and the Bears at the bottom.
Well, I'm going to take it to the barn, fellas. It's been great hanging out with you.
Hey, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen,
Russ, thanks for coming on.
Support both of you guys, man. You guys are good guys. I like the way you go about it. You're big tent kind of folks. I like the big tent philosophy. Come one, come all. And, we're all humans here. We all have our struggles, our ups and downs, peaks and valleys. So, the important thing is to just get on the road. Doesn't matter how fast you're going. Doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you got. You don't have to look over at the guy in the Maserati going 100 miles an hour. You could be in an old VW Beetle just putting along. Maybe you got a moped, but you're on the road. Maybe you got a flat tire. Maybe you're in the ditch. Hey, but you're on the road. So, and that's what it's all about, man. Get on that road and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You will get where you want to go. It's not a race. It's not a contest. Don't judge yourself by other people's measuring sticks. Do what you got to do, and to keep yourself on track there, and go at your pace, go at your speed, and that's the message to me. I think that's the important message for people, and I know both of you guys feel that way as well.
Yeah, definitely. We really appreciate you coming on, Russ. You're welcome to come on anytime.
Well, thank you, man. I definitely will. Like I said, the later the better. That's why I end up with Carnivore Scott 1:00 in the morning sometimes on those late streams, because I'm a night owl and I get done working late. So, like I said, if you're on after 9 or 10 p.m., there's a decent chance that I'm not doing nothing, and you may pop on. So we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate that, fellas. I appreciate that.
All right.
So yes, have a good night, and congratulations. I think I don't even think Detroit can mess this up. Not even Detroit can mess this game up. So I think you're home free on this, brother.
I hope you're right.
Definitely.
All right, fellas, man. You guys be good. Have a good evening.
Take care, Russ. Right. Have a good one.
Thanks, Russ. All right. So, Greg, something that we haven't talked about all night, you're in week number 2 of your full carnivore. Tell us how that's going.
Yeah, I'm like 2.5 weeks in now.
2.5 weeks. Okay.
Yeah,
So, it's the
since
start of
Sunday.
week 3 then.
Yeah. So on my 2-week weigh-in, I was down. Oh, let me look at my notes here. I can't even remember offhand. What was I? It was like 13. It was like 12, almost 13 pounds down in the first 2 weeks of carnivore. So the first week I lost 9.2 pounds. On the next week, I think it was 3 point something. But it's just about 13 pounds down in 2 weeks. This week I've lost 1 or 2 pounds. I've been kind of steady. But I'm hoping here at the end of the week, I drop some weight. So maybe I can lose another 3 or 4 pounds for the third week of carnivore, which I would take. I'm less than 4 pounds away from being under or losing 100 pounds. So I'd really like to hit that. I was hoping to do it this weekend, but unless I have a big drop, I don't think I'll hit the 100 by Sunday, but we'll see. I mean, it's been going pretty well, though. I can't complain. That's for sure.
Yeah.
How about
That's
you?
great.
How's things been going for you?
It's been going good. I've actually lost a couple more pounds, so I'm at like 80 pounds of weight loss now.
That's awesome.
So yeah, when I look back at things, I think like the first 3 to 4 months, I lost pretty quickly, like 50, 60, 65 pounds. I think it was more like 65 pounds, right?
Oh,
Did you
how did
catch
you
that?
catch that?
Oh,
I
geez.
thought that was going to be picked.
Wow. So anyway, I lost like 65 pounds there. And then, I went through the holidays last year and I wasn't very strict. And then as I finally got into the spring, I lost a few pounds again. And then I kind of, didn't really lose a little bit. And then I started to lose a little bit more here again. So for me, it was like I had that initial first 3, 4 months where I lost a lot of weight. And since then it's been slow going, but at least, there is still a little bit here and there that happens. Um, and again, this is where, I talk about like weight loss isn't really the key. The key is the fat loss and getting healthier and feeling better and so forth. And I definitely am noticing, even though the weight on the scale isn't changing that much, I am noticing differences like in my waist and so forth. So like the body fat is going more and more away. So I'm definitely seeing differences there. Matter of fact, we're coming up to the fall and I had a pair of jeans that I was like, yeah, I'm going to be able to wear these this year. They're actually kind of a little big. So now I'm like, do I need to get some new jeans? Because
Nice.
yeah, I wore jeans the other day and it's like, I had a belt on, but still they were like, they looked kind of funny because like, especially in the legs, they look so baggy. It's like, yeah, I don't know if I can really wear this or not. Maybe I need to get a new pair of jeans. I like that I'm seeing that kind of stuff, even though I'm not seeing a whole lot of loss in the actual weight on the scale. So
Yeah. I must say, I got to admit this. I went into Old Navy and I've never shopped Old Navy. They never had stuff that fit me. I mean, 2X, come on, not as a big guy, but now I can. I just was looking around and I didn't buy anything, but I looked around. I said, man, I could actually buy that and wear that. It was kind of weird because, I always struggled to find clothes. I've always been a big guy, as 3X shirts, 4X, or, usually I could fit into a 3XLT, but you could never find those. So I'd buy a 4X so I can make sure I could tuck it in because I'm kind of long torsoed and I like to be able to tuck in my shirt so my butt's not hanging out. So it's just nice to be able to see clothes that I can actually wear now. And, even some workout pants I bought here, I want to say it was like a month and a half ago. They're getting big on me already. And I'm like, so I actually wore an extra pair of extra large the other day and they fit perfect. It's like, it's been a long time since I've done that, but
yeah. Yeah, so like for shirts, I was wearing 4 extra large tall, 4XLT, right? Because I am a pretty tall guy, pretty big guy. Got big shoulders and stuff
Yeah, I
too.
saw that in your wedding picture. You're definitely a big guy. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
So, I've been wearing those, and I still like this shirt I got on is a 4XLT. Well, you can see how loose it is, but I had a shirt that I probably had never been able to wear, and it was like a 2X, and I'm like, I don't even know if I should try this, but I put it on. I was like, oh my gosh, this actually fits.
oh, it
And
picked it off.
it's not a 2XLT or anything. It's a 2X,
Yeah.
right? It's just double extra large. That might have sealed the game right
Yeah,
there.
I think
Huh?
that sealed the game for you.
Wow. So yeah, it's great, and you were talking about like pants. I don't know so much about pants other than the jeans that I have, but shorts. I actually have a pair of large shorts now that I'm wearing, and I was wearing like 2XL before, so it's amazing that just the difference that I've seen there, and really, like I said, like some of this is since I lost a bunch of weight and I'm only going slower in the last several months with weight, I'm actually noticing the difference still in the waist and so forth. So that's the good thing. Yeah, they can pretty much take a lot of time off this clock now. And a 17-point lead. Okay, I'm going to finally say I'm starting to feel a little comfortable for a possible victory here.
I think you're looking good. Hey, I'll be right back, Brian.
All right. Yeah, so anybody that's watching right now, anyone has any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I see we still got, it looks like there's about 12 of us online right now. So thanks for sticking with us. And while I'm waiting to see if any questions come in or waiting for Greg to come back, I'll just keep talking about, what I've been seeing here with the non-scale type of victories here. I haven't given an update really in a while about things like my AFib, and I think I'm going to do a video again about that because I did a video several months back where I talked about, I'd been about a year and hadn't had any episodes. Just like another update on that is things continue to go well there. I'm now at like 15 months on the carnivore diet, and it's probably at least 14 months here without an AFib episode. So that's been going really well. My blood pressure has been pretty low too. So, it typically, when I've been checking it's been like 110, 115 over like 70, 75, somewhere in there. I still have medication that I'm taking, but it's a lower dose than what I was taking before. And I go back to the doctor in like 2 weeks, I think, or a week and a half. So we might see a change there. I don't know. And I've also got a cardiologist appointment in like a month, where it'll be good to talk a bit about the AFib. And I've been on a blood thinner. I take Eliquis. And we've talked a few different times before over the last year about if I continue to lose weight and not have an episode, that could potentially go off of that. So I'm really looking forward to see how that conversation is going to go. So I was just kind of talking, giving an update while you were gone. So yeah, just giving some updates about how things are going. A lot of non-scale victories that have been going good. Yeah. So I will say,
sometimes those non-scale victories aren't talked about enough because there's just so many things that happen. And I mean, just looking at the camera, I look at my face, and I even make this in my videos. I'm like, the complexion is great. I don't have blackheads. I don't, the wrinkles are minimal for as old as I am. There's just so many different things that are positives, let alone, when you start buying new clothes, like we talked about, it feels pretty good to, like I said, I never shopped Old Navy before because nothing ever fit. So
yeah.
It's kind of nice. It's like, yeah, I'll actually be able to buy clothes. And, it's one of those, I'm not going crazy now because I'd still like to lose 50 to 70 pounds as far as I can go. So, and I don't know how long that's going to take, but hopefully, hopefully it goes well. And by summertime next year, I'll be at my final weight. That's what I'm hoping for. I got 2 girls getting married next year, so I wanted to look sharp taking them down the aisle, I guess. So
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I was going to say, I see Detroit just had to punt.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, they got to tackle them.
Okay. All right. So, one thing I was going to say though is, it's not always easy. So for people out there watching, that might be saying, I always watch these videos and people are talking about how great it is and so forth. And it's been a struggle for me. Well, yeah, it's not always easy. I will say that, there are times that I have problems with cravings and so forth. And, you know, there's one thing that I will point out that it's been better, and there was several months that I wasn't having any issues at all with like joint pain or arthritis or anything like that, and it's definitely better. But there's something that I've realized here a little bit more recently is that I sometimes do trigger issues. And it usually, I think, seems to coincide with certain things that I eat and then doing something like being a little more active than I was or banging my foot or something like that. Um, the other day, I was a little bit more active, walked a little bit more than I usually do. And I had French onion soup with a bunch of onions. And I think the oxalates in the onions caused me problems. And I had a little bit of pain yesterday on the top of my foot, but then today it's been better. Um, so that's just something that, I went several months where I wasn't having any of those things. And then just some little things that I noticed, like I might do something that I shouldn't do, eat something that I shouldn't, whatever. And I can have a little bit of something happen. The good news is it's not like it used to be like when I would have a problem in the past, my foot would swell up and it would be like a week or 2 weeks. I'd be stuck. I'd be done with a swollen foot no matter what I seemed to do. I could ice it. I could, you know, soak it in a bath or something, put icy hide on it, whatever, take, Motrin or whatever. It didn't seem to help. I was stuck with a week or 2 of waiting until the swelling would go down. And that hasn't happened to me, even though I might have like yesterday where the foot was sore. I was able to basically I put a little icy hot on it last night, and today it was fine. So that's something I'll point out there. It's not like everything is always great, and there's struggles out there. I ate stuff that I shouldn't have the other day where I had the onions, and I think that caused it. The last time that I kind of noticed a little bit of something with it, I had a little bit of pizza. So it's like stuff that I know I shouldn't eat, but sometimes I do that, and then I kind of notice. Like sometimes it's like your body is like, "Hey, you shouldn't be eating this, so I'm gonna tell you." Like like you're gonna have this pain point, and it's gonna remind you that you shouldn't be eating that, and then you're like, "Okay, yeah, I really shouldn't have ate that. I'm not gonna eat that anymore again." So
Yeah,
just
you're
putting
right.
it out there.
It definitely can affect you. And, that's the thing. Life does happen. And I think people are kidding you if they say, "Oh, no, I don't crave anything else." Yeah, I crave stuff once in a while. I would love to have some scoops of ice cream, or I would like to have some chocolate. I ate a lot of chocolate before. It was a daily thing for me. But you know what? I've been able to get by without it and make some changes. And it's one of those things. But I think your Detroit Lions are going to have the big W today, is what I think. They're up by
So
13.
I saw Green Bay kicked a field goal, and they just tried an onside kick, and it went out of bounds. So
Yeah.
under 3 minutes to go, 14-point lead in the ball, looking pretty good.
If anybody out there has any questions, go ahead and fire away. Well, I know the game will be ending soon, and so will our live stream. But go ahead and put it out there if you got something for us.
Yep, and I see that there's still 13 people watching, so
Nice.
thanks for sticking
Thank
with
you.
us.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. We love having you here and joining us. So thank you.
Definitely, if you have any questions, now's the time to put it in so we can get to your questions here before the end of the live stream.
So Brian, do you have anything coming up that you're working on that you want to share with everybody who's on the live stream? Or
Yeah. So, well, first of all, of course, Thursdays are our new thing, right?
yeah,
Thursday
it
night
is. It's
football.
definitely it's grown each week, and it's a lot of fun. That's for sure. So
So next Thursday we'll be right back here. But yeah, before that, let's see. So we're coming down to the end of September. I have an offline interview tomorrow night. It was originally supposed to be last Friday, but we had to reschedule. So it's tomorrow night. I'm doing an offline interview with one of the PhD mentors um, in Dr. Barry's group, right? When
okay, yep.
the mentor coaches. So I'm doing an interview with her tomorrow night, and then probably in the next couple of days, I'll have that go out on the channel. And then Sunday, I'm in Carnivore Backwoods, John's Carnivore Roundtable at 1:00. So 1 p.m. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be in that. I have another offline interview coming up on Monday for somebody else's channel that they reached out to me. So that's going to be probably out there soon. Next Wednesday, Carnivore Soldier was on earlier today, Larry. I'm going to be on a live stream with him next Wednesday. It's his hump day meetup. And so we're going to be doing that live stream. And then, of course, we hit Thursday with the low carb football party. So not quite as many live streams as I've had the last couple of weeks, just 3 of them, I guess, here in the next week. But a lot of different things there. I'm working on some new content for the channel. I will have tomorrow, I think it is. I think it's tomorrow morning. It's either tomorrow morning or Saturday morning. I can't remember which, but I'm going to have a video coming out where I tried Dr. Kilt's ice cream, the carnivore ice cream. And so I'm going to review it, go over the recipe and review it and so forth. Yeah. So that's going to be a nice video. And then I got some other ideas of some videos that I'm going to be working on. So I'm going to try and get some more of that type of content out there too, because I've only been doing like 1 or 2 of those a week lately with all the lives that I've been doing. So I want to try and get some of that back out there.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So how's things looking with your channel?
Oh man, I've been really busy. I'm creating a lot of content. I like to do that. I enjoy making videos, but let's see here. I'm trying to think. Monday, I have an interview with John, who was on tonight, Champion Within. I've got it's going to be a recorded interview. We'll put that out. I don't know, probably Tuesday, Wednesday for hit that. But I'm doing it Monday night. Tuesday, I'm going to be on the cookout. So that'll be fun to do that. And then, of course, Thursday, we've got the football, low carb football party. And we already know one of our guests for the week. So it'll be nice to have her on the show. We'll have to figure out what kind of topic we're going to have, but it'll be nice to have her in here. And also, let's see what else. I got some interviews the next week. On Monday, that following week, I have an interview, recorded one. Otherwise, just content. I've already been setting up interviews down the road with other people who've been asking me to come on their show. So yeah, a lot going on for sure. So I see we got somebody from Australia. Yeah. You're looking at, they must have been Larry's channel.
Oh yeah. Charmed Mom. Hey. Yeah, Larry was on with us earlier and he had to drop. But I think he left it up on his channel. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Yeah, life is busy right now, I must say, between taking care of my mom, putting content out, doing interviews, and just, trying to get, in North Iowa here, we're kind of got to start getting things outside ready for winter. So there's yard work to do and leaves to clean up and just a lot of different things to do before the winter comes. So yeah, American football is a little bit different than rugby. Rugby's fun though. I enjoy that. That's fun to watch. There's a lot of tough guys that play that for sure.
Yeah, there was somebody, was it last year, that was on an NFL roster that had been a professional rugby player before that, and they switched to football, and they were on somebody's roster last year in the NFL.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. There's been a few of those over the years. Really.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. The Lions just got a first down. I think they can just run out the clock.
Yep, 34-20 with 58 seconds left. So, and they're just, like you said, running out the clock.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm going to give a little plug to college here for Saturday.
Yeah.
Toledo, University of Toledo. It's their homecoming game this Saturday.
Nice.
They're playing Northern Illinois. They're going to be on ESPNU at 3:30 p.m. So check it out.
Oh, okay. Good deal. So, yep. Yeah,
there it is. First Lions head coach to win 4 straight games versus the Packers since Monty Clark, 1982 to 83. Wow.
And they beat him at home too. Like Green Bay was at home, which is usually pretty hard to win there. So,
well, that was like last year. They won the last regular season game of the year to knock Aaron Rodgers and the Packers out of the playoffs. Remember that? Keep them from going to playoff spot. And Aaron Rodgers' last game with the Packers at home and lost to the Lions, and now they win this game. So
yeah, I remember that. Definitely,
it's crazy. It's actually somewhat of fun times here right now for the Lions. I just hope that we're not being teased here, right? I hope that it's real. So
yeah, I think it is real. They just got to stay healthy. They're looking good. I mean, they're definitely the best team in the North for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how they stack up against some of the other competition that they play against here coming up. And they already beat Kansas City. So, that's,
it was without Kelsey, but yes, they did beat Kansas City.
Yeah. Kelsey hasn't done much so far, but I don't know how many games he's played. Has he been in 2? And I know he was in the game the other night because Taylor Swift was in the crowd and everybody's going nuts about that.
Yeah, right.
I'm still seeing memes on that and I just gotta laugh.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I think Kelsey played in their second game too, but Mahomes didn't do very well in that game. But then last Sunday in their third game, I think Mahomes did really well. I'm not sure how Kelsey did, but so I think they're 2-1 now, the Chiefs. So I think that's been their only loss.
Yeah. That should be another good weekend of football, though, between all the college games and the pro games, and now we have, of course, we have Monday night too. It's almost there's a lot of nights of football that you can watch, to be honest, this time of year. So
yeah, there is.
But
all right, well, we're at the end of the game. I haven't seen any new questions coming in, so I think we're good there. So, Greg, I think we're gonna call it an evening here, and again, we'll be back here next Thursday. We know for sure we've got one guest lined up already. We'll probably have multiple guests again, like we've been doing the last couple of weeks. And somebody just asked, "Where's our friend Russ?" So Russ was on for a little bit. He was on for about an hour, I think, with us, and he dropped like maybe 10, 15 minutes ago.
Yep.
So.
And then Charmed Mom was also just wanted to say pop in and say hi and stuff. So thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
That goes for anybody else that's been on tonight. Thank you for coming in and spending some time with us and just hanging out and talking low carb diets and watching football a little bit. And we appreciate you.
Yep. All right. So remember, next Thursday, we'll be back here 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central Time for the next Thursday night football game. We'll have a new low-carb topic. So I don't know yet what we're going to pick, but I think, Greg, you're going to host next week, so we'll probably let you pick the topic and so forth, and we'll go from there. We'll see you all next week.
Thank you, everyone.